the end zone for the touchdown.
That's 6. Welcome into Panther Friday night on Tradio. The Colleyville Heritage Panthers paying a visit to take on Everman. The Bulldogs and the Panthers, Colleyville 2-3, Everman 1-5. Here at Everman, alongside Tremel Jeffers, I'm Will Connerly. Happy to be with you tonight for more district play. Colleyville coming off a bye week. Everman, they fell a week ago against Argyle, who Colleyville last played as well. But a week off, they're ready to go and looking forward to this matchup, Tremel.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely ready for this matchup. I know the Panthers are ready to get back out there, too. After 2 very tough losses in a row, now they've fallen out of the playoff picture. Well, they're still in the playoff picture, but they've fallen out of the playoff positioning. So if the season were to end today, Colleyville would not be in the playoffs. But the good news is the season doesn't end tonight. Still plenty of football left to be played. We have 5 more district games left to be played. And they're ready to get out there and get some momentum going because, like I said, they lost 2 games in a row. And this is the perfect opponent to get that momentum going against right here.
Everman, a team that won just 1 ball game a year ago, sitting at 1-5 right now. Colleyville hungry, coming off the bye, as you mentioned, with consecutive losses and getting to catch up with head coach Jerry Edwards this week, and you'll hear from him in just a little bit here on our pregame show on Panther Friday night on Tradio. He mentioned that bye week coming at a great time. We have 5 games. We get to reset, reevaluate, and now the final 5 games of the season upcoming. And this is a Panther team that still believes they're a really quality football team and everything in front of them in the respect that they feel they have an opportunity to run the table in the district down the stretch here, these final 5 games. And it, of course, starts tonight here at Everman.
Yeah, they definitely have a chance to run the table, but it comes down to execution. You have to execute. You have to take care of the football. You have to come prepared, and you have to bring your A game every single week. And that's what the Colleyville Heritage Panthers are going to have to do every single week if they want to run the table and get that 3 seed in the playoffs, because that's what it's looking like the best case scenario will be later on down the line. I know it's still plenty of football left, but I think we'll be playing for that 3 seed.
A lot up in the air, but Argyle clearly looks like perhaps the team that could run the table once again overall, as they've played really well at the top. But it is interesting. Mansfield Timberview looks like a quality opponent. Of course, they beat Colleyville. You have Summit undefeated still. They're playing Timberview tonight. That could shake up the standings. Arlington Seguina's had a quality start in district play as well. So still a lot up in the air for district play. And, of course, that continues tonight for Colleyville, looking to get to 2-2 in district play. And, of course, we can speculate and look ahead at all of that, but we know the team focused and hungry to get back on the football field with a bad taste in their mouth after a couple of losses heading into their bye week, and that is what they will try to turn around here tonight. And tough losses, like you mentioned. Mansfield Timberview, they're up by 3 scores. And for Argyle, it wasn't necessarily a heartbreaking loss, but it was a ball game where you felt there were some missed opportunities. End of the first half is something you point at. You felt you left points on the table, but just in general, you feel when you put up that many points, you should win a lot of football games, but it was tough to slow down Argyle, and they were playing catch-up that entire game, down 14-0 before the offense could even take their second series out there. So that was a tough challenge, and in that respect, tough losses. Any loss is a tough one, and that, of course, fit the mold for Colleyville, especially considering the fact that they were up by 3 scores in the fourth quarter and still ended up falling in that first of the 2 consecutive losses at Mansfield Timberview. But they pay a visit on the road once again, and we'll see what they can get done tonight. We will step aside and continue our pregame show next. This is Panther Friday Night on Tradio.
Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. #1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
Do you have a dream of having a pool and a backyard oasis? Well, it's time to talk to the professionals at J. Caldwell Custom Pools. From new construction to remodeling to service and maintenance, J. Caldwell Custom Pools is your custom pool builder and outdoor living design expert, serving you with 2 locations, Hudson Oaks and Fort Worth. Because life is too short for ordinary backyards. Dive in and find out more at jcaldwellcustompools.com.
Still has it at the 47-yard line. They trail 7-2. Bodie Weaver gets rid of it quickly. Deep shot down the field, and it's a touchdown for the Panthers. He is on a mission to start district play. Low snap for Bodie Weaver here on a 1st and goal. Weaver now stepping up in the pocket. Looks like he's going to run it in for a score. And he does. Bodie Weaver from 8 yards out punches it in. 21 wins. They're allowing less than 2 touchdowns per game as Bodie Weaver spins, turns, throws, and another touchdown. Number 5 of the night for Bodie Weaver through the air, and it's Trevi Price. Bodie Weaver looking good. 6 for 8 so far in this game with a pair of scores, and he looks for another here. Deep shot down the field. It's another touchdown for Colleyville. The 2nd of the game for Lucas Sumwall. And a 37-yard touchdown. Lucas Sumwall with a couple of big scores tonight. And Colleyville running away with this one. Dressel going in motion. Bodie Weaver stepping up in the pocket, looking down the field. And it's caught for a touchdown. Lucas Sumwall, back-to-back weeks. He's real tonight. And that one certainly takes the cake. Bodie Weaver rushing for a score. Wow, he has been impressive tonight. And we thought he was impressive last week. He is probably topping that, and he had 6 touchdowns a week ago. And Bodie Weaver having some type of first half. He's 1 for 2.
Alive for Colleyville as they pick up a big first down.
First and 10 for Colleyville. They have it at the 17-yard line. Sumwall, touchdown grab! The standout sophomore scored in 4 straight games. And what a beautiful... Just saw some highlights from Panther Friday night throughout this season, and those 2 guys, Connor Supacasey and Lucas Sumwall, the 2 leading receivers for the Panthers this season, they've made a lot of highlights, 9 touchdowns combined between the 2 here so far this season. Connor Supacasey and Lucas Sumwall, a ton of production, and Bodie Weaver spreading the wealth this season, but these 2 receivers have really shined above the rest for this Colleyville Heritage group.
Yes, they've been fantastic all season long. As you see here, Connor Supacasey has 309 receiving yards. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year. And then Lucas Sumwall pitching in with 293 receiving yards with 5 touchdowns. So the 2 combined for 9 total touchdowns and about 600 receiving yards. And they really make big plays, especially right down the seam, right down the middle of the field. That is their bread and butter. They can really do it all.
Bodie Weaver, well, he's thrown 16 touchdowns this season through the air, 5 more with his legs. And as you mentioned, 9 going to that tandem. But he's got some more receivers in the works as well. Landon Dressel, Trevi Preicha, Samir Johnson, who's been out. Hopefully he can come back sometime soon. But Bodie Weaver's just been incredible. 16 passing, 5 rushing. That's just through 5 games, folks. And Bodie Weaver's just been electric so far this season.
Yeah, and especially the last 3 games. 16 total touchdowns in his last 3 games. He had 6 against Mansfield, Timberview. He had 6 in the, he had 6 against Timberview. What was the game before Timberview? I think it was the Colony. Yes, it was the Colony. He had 6 against the Colony, and then he had 4 last game against Argyle, 4 total touchdowns. So, 16 total touchdowns in the last 3 games. He's been killing it. He's been on fire.
And he's going to need to continue to be on fire if Colleyville wants to do some work in the district. We look in the hunt here in 3-5 AD2. Argyle at the top. They're 4-0. Summit undefeated as well. They have a big battle with Timberview tonight. Both those teams fighting for the number 2 spot. Seguin 3-2. They were out to a 3-0 start. A couple of losses in district play. Then you got Burleson and Colleyville tied at that 5th spot, as you mentioned, on the outside, looking in at least right now. But for Seguin, that's who Colleyville will play next week, so that'll be a big matchup at home. But first, their sights set on Everman here tonight. We're going to hear from head football coach Jerry Edwards when we come back. This is Panther Friday Night on Tradio.
From your first paycheck to your first home, starting your own business, or celebrating your retirement, we're here for all of life's important moments. At Simmons Bank, our modern banking solutions make managing your finances effortless and efficient, so you can focus on what matters most. Simmons Bank, proud supporter of the moments that matter. SimmonsBank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all accounts subject to approval.
Do you know what makes a biscuit a Bo biscuit? There it is. Small batch biscuits, just minutes from the oven, with crunchy hand-breaded chicken. Now you know the Carolina legend is here. If you know, you Bo.
Back with you here on Panther Friday Night on Tradio, joined alongside head football coach Jerry Edwards. Coach, thanks for always taking the time to visit with us here on the pregame show. Tell us about the bye week. How'd you spend it?
Well, just kind of working on fundamentals, getting back to what we do, preparing for the second half of the season. After you go through the first 5 games, you get a chance to evaluate and reevaluate. And so during our bye week, we focused in on some areas that we felt like we needed to improve on a little bit. And then we kind of prepared for the upcoming weeks, touching on some of our district opponents coming up to ensure that we're ready to go these next 5 games.
But for you personally as a football coach, is it a time to get away from the game for a moment as well during that off week?
Well, you can never get away. When it's in your blood, it's in your blood. And so, we did work. A lot of our guys were out scouting. Actually got a chance to go watch my former offensive coordinator, coach. He's a head coach now, and then got to sneak down to College Station and watch the Aggies. And so we did get away a little bit from Panther football, but, we still took in some. What
are some of the biggest improvement points or focus points down the stretch here for the Panthers?
Well, I think special teams, we had to shore up a little bit, and so we spent a little bit more time on that this week to make sure that we're, getting things done in that area. And really and truly, it was just kind of fundamental stuff, more not really scheme or areas, defensively, working on taking on blocks, getting off blocks, making tackles. Playing good technique at the line of scrimmage was something that we focused really on pretty hard. And then offensively, we've been playing really well, but kind of the same thing up front, making sure that we sure things up front so we can get our run game going a little bit more and then protect Bodie when he drops back to pass. So a lot of time spent on the line of scrimmage, during the bye week.
Okay, the trenches. And you mentioned Bodie, and it just seems – these last 3 games, and really all season long, but he has a performance, and after the game, I'm saying, man, that's the best I've seen him play. And he keeps improving throughout the year as what it seems like from up in the booth. And I know the numbers, but just the way that he's been able to generate offense for you this season, it really feels like a big step up from what we saw an impressive Bodie Weaver a year ago. And you mentioned this to me, Coach, in the preseason. You said it's hard to put into words how much he has improved from a year ago and now halfway through his senior year. Do you have some words to describe what he's been doing for your offense?
It's just been electric, really and truly, if you sum it up in one word. I mean, he's got a really good sense of what we're trying to do offensively. He's stepped up and he's more vocal and leader on the field in practice and in games. And, he's doing a great job of distributing the football. If you look around, and that's kind of what, we had a conversation earlier in the week, is there's not one guy that we're singling or targeting. If you look at the receptions and yards, it's pretty spread out. And so from a defensive perspective, that's hard to cover 4 or 5 guys that are getting touches each and every game, and they can put up some good numbers. And Bodie realizes that, and he's doing a good job of spreading it around, focusing in on what he needs to attack. And then, you add in his legs. He's been vastly part of our rushing attack. Are you going to prepare to drop back and play the pass, or are you going to load it up and try to keep him from running? So really been a dynamic quarterback for us this year. He's really got our offense rolling. And, I don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
That is awesome to hear. He certainly has been effective with his arm and his legs in a big way. And just for this team overall, I know you said you got to work in the locker room. What was that feeling like going into the bye week with consecutive district losses? What is the mentality for this Panther team for these final 5 games as you look to make a playoff push, Coach?
Well, it hasn't changed. From the beginning of the season, our goal is to get in the playoffs and make playoff noise, win playoff games. And so that goal has not changed for us. I told the kids it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We're a really, really good football team, and sometimes the record doesn't tell the tale. We have an opportunity to run the table the second half like we did last year. That's our goal each and every week, is to go 1-0. And so we want to go 1-0 against Everman this week, and then focus in on who we got next and go 1-0 that week. And so,
Oh, was that what went down?
Taking a little bit at a time. When we're clicking, if you look back at the 3 games that we did lose, there was one phase of the ball that kind of wasn't on point that night. And so making sure that all 3 phases are ready to go each and every night. And then, if one phase is struggling, the other phases pick up the slack. And so bye week was a good time for us to take our breath and relax a little bit and get back to what we're doing. We very easily could be 4-1, but we're not. But we're not going to dwell on the past. We're going to focus in on the future. And like I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I think our kids responded well during the bye week.
Final thing, Coach, as you do look ahead to tonight's affair against Everman, the Bulldogs, they struggled quite a bit a year ago in district play. That they're off to a 1-5 start this year. What do you know about this Bulldogs team? And have you been to Everman before? Or would this be your first time going to coach at Everman?
Never been to Everman as a football coach. When I was a powerlifting coach back in the Mansfield days, we had a powerlifting meet over there a time or two. So I've been there before, but never on the football field. So looking forward to the road trip. Kind of like I told the kids earlier in the week, it feels like we've been away from the field for a month, but it's only been, 2 weeks. And so we're ready to get back out there on the gridiron. Everman, they're athletic. They can move around. They got some guys on offense and defense that can hurt you if you don't, line up and play football. We want to make sure that we play our game. That we stay focused on us and don't self-inflict any wounds, and make sure that we want to try to jump out to a fast start like we have each and every week, and kind of keep our foot on the throttle. But they do have some guys that can run and make plays, and so we've got to make sure. And they're kind of unconventional on offense. I say unconventional in today's day and age. You don't see a lot of tight end wing anymore, but they run with a lot of formation sets that our kids probably don't see each and every Saturday when you watch football. So more of an old school style of offense. And so we've got to make sure that we're disciplined and, like I said, control the line of scrimmage defensively. Offensively, we got to take what they give us. They blitz a lot, so we got to be really, really good up front and make sure that we give Bodie time to do his job back there. And if we do, I think we can come away with a win.
Awesome, Coach. Well, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck tonight.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Go Panthers.
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. Number 1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
The Colleyville Heritage Football Boosters would like to thank their title sponsor, Classic Chevrolet, who provided new helmets for varsity this year. Safety on the road and safety on the field is what get you with Classic. The CHHS Football Boosters would like to thank our diamond sponsors, Bojangles, Compass Church, Simmons Bank, and Texas Orthopedic Associates, Dr. Damon Blewett, for their support.
The CHHS Football Boosters would like to thank our Onyx sponsors, Complete Cool Air, J. Caldwell Key Life Homes, and Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers for their support.
They'd also like to thank their Ruby sponsors that see you up on the scoreboard. Please support those that support us.
And they would also like to thank 5 All Others. CHHS Football Boosters would like to thank our sponsors that you see on the scoreboard. Please support those that support us.
And the Football Boosters would like to thank tonight's tailgate sponsor, The Londoner. Remember, the Booster Tailgate is open to all and free before all home games. Come and join us.
And the CHHS Football would like to thank our team meal sponsor of the week, Wise Guys Pizzeria. Thanks for keeping our Panthers well fed.
Shout out to our great sponsors, and thanks to head football coach Jerry Edwards for joining us here on the pregame show. As we get a glance at the starting lineups for the Colleyville Heritage Panthers in this one. The coin toss happening now with the captains out there. Gerard Wiley, Blake Wendler, Bodie Weaver start in the offensive backfield for the Panthers. Trevi Pressure, Connor Supacase, Landon Dressel, along with Lucas Sunwall. We'll see a lot out there for the wide receivers. And then West Dalio Cubic, Gavin Cornwell, Hayes Patterson, Chandler Sampson, and Muhammad Ramadan up front on the offensive line. The defensive front, Demarius Logan, Marshae Logan, he's back in the mix this week. Nehemiah Ole-Iwola and Will Kennedy getting the start with Isaiah Omar not in the mix tonight. Linebackers, they've been the same all year long. The group coached by Jerry Edwards, Dax Ebeson, Joey Nisbet, and Camden Blackson. And in the secondary for the Panthers, Chase Gibson, Eli Wollery, the corners, Hayden West and Will Hummert, the safeties for Colleyville. Trammell, our keys to the game, let's take it away.
The keys to the game, number 1 is dominate the special teams. I honestly believe in this game, Everman is going to do a lot of punting. So you got to take advantage of that with the punt returns, the kick returns, blocking punts, just being disciplined. You got to dominate the special teams today. Number 2, get the run game going. It's been a struggle all year to get the run game going as far as the running backs. Bodie Weaver has pitched in a lot with his legs. We want to take the pressure off of Bodie Weaver so he won't get too fatigued. And then last but not least, limit yards after contact. You want to get contact the first time. You want to hit them first and get them down to the ground the first time that you make contact. Those are your keys to the game tonight.
And the Panthers getting ready to run out here at Everman. Again, Everman, they are 1-5, 1-3 in district play, and a team that has had some lopsided affairs so far this year. They're scoring about 14 a game, but giving up quite a bit as the Panthers run out in the red helmets, white uniforms, with the red numbers filled in, and the Colleyville Heritage faithful across the way as you see it on your screen here at Everman. So out in the whites with the red pants, red helmets, and the red numbers filled in. A sharp look for Jerry Edwards' squad coming off the bye week, looking forward to seeing what they have in store tonight on the football field.
Oh, football is back. It seems like that week took forever. That bye week took forever. We're finally back. I'm glad to see this Panthers team back on the football field so we can make this run at the playoffs.
Absolutely. Colleyville hoping for a deep playoff run. They're hoping to put themselves in a position to be able to get there. And, of course, when you bring up Colleyville Heritage and the playoffs, when they've gotten to the postseason in 19 consecutive years, it really does feel weird to say at the current moment in time, sitting at 1-2 in district play. On the outside looking in, but plenty in front of them. As we've mentioned, 5 games left in district play, and they look to go on a stretch run and play some really good football down the stretch. And in the keys to the game, you brought it up, head football coach Jerry Edwards said it as well. One thing he really said they got back to during the bye week getting to work was just fundamentals, and he thought special teams was a big area where they've left some points on the table this year, and you would think that a part of that equation is just the kick coverage. They've been hurt on a couple of big returns throughout the duration of this season, and we'll see what is in store tonight as we take a moment to observe the national anthem.
Your attention to the U.S. flag behind the scoreboard as we invite the Everman High School Band to honor America by playing our national anthem.
There's the anthem just being played here at Everman. Colleyville Heritage and Everman, the Bulldogs hosting the Panthers this evening for district play. And Colleyville, the story we mentioned, it was similar in their last game, but it was Argyle coming off the bye. And Coach Edwards mentioned to us that it was a big advantage for Argyle in the sense that they get the rest, they get the opportunity to scout the week before. And Colleyville got to do that, not just looking ahead at this game, but as we've detailed throughout this pregame show on Panther Friday night on Tradio, the rest of their district schedule as well. And you want to see them come out and play a clean football game and do what we look forward to tonight, those big things as we recap the special teams, the run game, and limiting yards after contact, just tackling and playing sound fundamental football, which is what it feels like over the last week. This is what that Panther team really focused on, the fundamentals, getting back to some of those basic concepts where they can reevaluate some of the things they've done throughout this season. And we'll see that right away, at least for Colleyville on the defensive side, as Landon Dressel will boot this one off. It's about to be teed up at the 40-yard line. And Barrington Strickland, the senior, is set back deep to return. We're about to have this football game underway. Tim Polster, our technical director tonight, Tramel Jeffers alongside. I'm Will Counterly, and happy you're with us as the Panther Friday night pregame show is in the books, and we're ready for football here tonight.
Oh, it is so good to be back. So good to be back.
Landon Dressel kicks this one off, and it's brought out just at the 1-yard line, and Colleyville with good kick coverage there, hustling down Gade Best and Trevi Prycia to tackle Cavant Blair, the junior. He and Strickland were a little miscommunication there, it looked like, of who was going to bring that out, but either way, the Panthers defense out there first.
One of our keys to the game, dominate the special teams, check mark on that play there. Good start.
So the Bulldogs out on the football field. Their purple uniforms and the gold numbers with Princeton Roberts standing in the shotgun. Motions out Blair for an empty backfield. 4 on the front for Colleyville. Demarius Logan brings pressure, and he wraps up the quarterback for a loss on the play. Demarius Logan comes in with the sack and makes his presence known on the first play.
Early in the game, he's getting back to what he's been doing all season. He's been kind of absent in these last 2 games, but he's finally back, and he's making plays. That is a good sign to see on the first play of the game.
Demarius Logan coming off the edge, standing next to Nehemiah Ole-Iwola, donning number 55, a number change from a few weeks ago. And you see his brother, his twin brother, DeMarshe Logan, in at defensive tackle along with Will Kennedy as well. But there is Demarius Logan. Circled number 13, who had a sack on the first play to set up a 2nd and 11. A low snap there again, and then just tumbling down to the turf, nowhere to go. Dax Hebison was in the vicinity. Not sure anybody gets credited for a tackle there as Princeton Roberts just tripped up, and so Everman's gone backwards on their first 2 plays.
Yeah, the defensive line got a good push on that play there, but nobody gets credit for the tackle. The turf monster just got him on that one, but the defensive line did get a push.
You're sure they wanted the credit, though. Whenever a guy goes down, just touch him. But it's a 3rd and 12. So Colleyville looking to force a quick 3 and out, and it's a rushing attempt. They're up by Bowdy, but nowhere to go for the running back as Dax Hebison, DeMarshe Logan were both there to gobble up the tailback, the senior, LeBron Bowdy. And so on 3rd and 12, they settle for a no-gain run, and it will force the Bulldogs to punt. Just a couple of minutes into this game, the drives really started with that Demarius Logan sack, his 4th tackle for loss this season, as Will Hummer is back deep to return this Michael Victoria punt for Everman. Victoria kicking this one away, but there was a flag on the play. It's going to be a false start against Everman, so that will push Michael Victoria even further back. So Colleyville opportunity to have some solid field position for their first drive of the game, forcing the Bulldogs to go 3 and out. And Victoria punts it away at the 2, and a fair catch at the 39 for Will Hummer. So great field position for the Panthers here on their first drive.
Yep, fantastic field position to start the first drive of the game for the Panthers offense. It's time to get something going. Let's get this momentum going. The offense has actually played very well in their last 2 games. Even though they were losses, they still put up over 40 points in both of those games. The offense has been really good, but you want to get off to a quick start and just get some good things going. You're coming off a bye week, so knock the rust off.
It's Gabe Best starting in the backfield for Colleyville, but it's Bodie Weaver who takes it himself. We've seen him do that quite often this year, and Bodie Weaver gathers a couple on the ground.
Number 2, Bodie Weaver on the keeper.
Seeing Gabe Best become more involved, mentioned wanting the running game to get going. Of course, Bodie Weaver, he's really shouldered the load in the run game himself. He averages about 86 yards per game on the ground. And Gabe Best now standing next to him. He totes the rock, plenty of space up through the left side. And a great block applied by Wes Dalio-Cubic, and he runs in between the tackle and the guard, and that brings a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers are really going to put an emphasis on running the football tonight. Gabe Best is going to get a lot of carries. You're going to see Gerard Wiley with a lot of touches tonight. They're really going to try to establish that run.
Bodie Weaver back to pass here. And he takes a shot, end zone opportunity, and it's Lucas Sunwall. Make it 5 games in a row. The sophomore has found the end zone.
And that's exactly what the run game does. It opens up play action, and you see right here on this replay, he goes, here's Bodie Weaver. He scrambles out the pocket, throws on the run, and he's got a wide open Connor Supakase, or excuse me, Lucas Sunwall right there down the middle for a touchdown.
Lucas Sunwall, his 6th touchdown of the season, and Colleyville converts on the 2-point conversion. Dax Heveson right there. So quickly the Panthers out to an 8-0 lead just like that, as Lucas Sunwall scores his 6th touchdown of the season, and the sophomores found the end zone in 5 straight weeks. It's Panther Friday night on Tradio. We'll be right back.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Do you know Carolina flavor? That's it. It's Southern, but with a little oomph in it. Now you know. The Carolina legend is here. If you know, you bow.
So Colleyville needs just 3 plays. They go 39 yards down the field. A 27-yard touchdown pass from Bodie Weaver to Lucas Sunwall. It's Weaver's 17th touchdown pass this year. We're just in Game 6, and they convert the 2-point conversion there from Dax Heveson. And now the kickoff return brought a few yards deep out of the end zone by Barrington Strickland, and he is gobbled up just across the 15-yard line. Good kick coverage again. Colin Bennett was there. And so the Colleyville defense out there now with an 8-0 lead, but Bodie Weaver 17 touchdown passes now. 6 of them have gone to Lucas Sunwall. It's easy to get the 2 mixed up. Connor Supakase and Lucas Sunwall, 2 receivers we highlighted at the top of the show. And it's Sunwall, the sophomores. 5 weeks in a row he's scored now 6 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah, it's just the routine. You wake up, you brush your teeth, and Lucas Sunwall scoring touchdowns. That's a part of his routine.
It's a good routine to have, and the Colleyville defense back out there with an empty backfield for the quarterback, Princeton Roberts. He goes under center and looks to sneak it on 1st and 10. DeMarshe Logan is there. And nothing doing on the sneak try by Princeton Roberts. With an empty backfield looking to take advantage, but the defensive tackle, DeMarshe Logan, who's back in the mix this week, there to make the play.
Yeah, pretty interesting call there by Everman. Normally you only see a quarterback sneak on short yardage situations, but I guess they were trying to catch the defense napping. But the Panthers defense was aware, and they got the stop.
They are able to pick up 2 yards on the play. Now Roberts looking to pass, pump fakes a couple of times, and then spins for a gain of a few yards. Will Kennedy was able to gobble up the quarterback, but a flag on the play. We saw Roberts pump fake a couple of times, but there was nothing there for him, so he took it himself. After sneaking on 1st and 10, looks like they're waving off the flag. No flag on the play. And so that'll set up a 3rd down.
Really interested to see what Everman is going to call here on 3rd down. Because the last 3rd down, they opted to hand the ball off, and they only picked up 1 yard. Here it's 3rd and 4, so 3rd and manageable. What do they have dialed up here? Will they throw the ball in the air, or will we see another handoff?
Seen 5 runs from the Bulldogs tonight. They've not opted to go to the air. They were trying to on the last possession, but nothing was there, and Roberts kept it himself. Roberts passes far side. It is caught. Pushed out of bounds there by Colleyville's Gerard Wiley. You see Wiley now in defensively. And Cavant Blair, the wide receiver, making the catch for the Bulldogs to move the chain. So that is a little bit of a change for Colleyville. Gerard Wiley out there here on this second series. And you also see Braden Edwards, Jerry Edwards' son, playing outside linebacker here as well on this second series of the ball game. But a 1st down after the connection to Blair as they are up to the 32-yard line. Handoff, nothing doing there for LeBron Bowdy. Making the stop is Braden Edwards, coach's son. Saw him play at Red Oak. He had to come in that second half when Camden Blackson went down for a moment. Getting some chances. Then you see Gerard Wiley in at
the safety position,
where you typically see Will Hummert. So he's playing safety with Hayden West now. As Kennedy and Logan on the edge. Then Logan and Ole Iwola up front. And Dax Hebeson with a huge tackle for loss. Cavant Blair just going backwards. And Hebeson with a big tackle for loss right there as Colleyville blows that play up.
Relentless effort from Dax Hebeson there. He sniffed the play out. He knew where it was coming the entire time, and he makes a huge stop, and they lose a major chunk of yardage.
Dax Hebeson, 5th tackle for loss, so the year sets up a 3rd and 21. So perhaps an opportunity to see some different personnel for Colleyville in this game, at least than what we've seen. Braden Edwards out there to start this second series. 1 first down so far on the drive on this second drive for Everman, and now the quarterback, Princeton Roberts, looks to the official to call a timeout as they look to draw something up, Trammell, on 3rd down and 21 yards to go.
Not many plays in the playbook for 3rd and 21, but, I mean, you could take a shot. I mean, it's the same thing as a punt. Worst case scenario is you throw an interception deep. I mean, at least take a chance. It's the same thing as a punt. So maybe that's what Everman will try to draw up here.
3rd down and long. 3rd and 18 now. What's up on the scoreboard? Either way, that was set up with the big Dax Hebeson tackle for loss. He blew off the block of the running back, LeBron Bowdy, and was able to wrap up Cavant Blair for a big loss. And so now on 3rd and long after the Everman timeout, their first of the half. This, their second drive. Both of their drives have started at their own 18-yard line.
And Colleyville's front 4, they do a good job of getting pressure on 3rd and longs.
Here's the screen. They go to Barrington, Strickland, and Colleyville. You mentioned pressure. All 4 were running at the quarterback. Of course, the design of the play with the screen, but Dax Hebeson, the first one there to bring down Strickland on the screen chance, and it sets up 4th down and long.
Yeah, that time the Panthers' defensive front 4, they swarm to the football. Well, they swarm to the quarterback, get pressure on the quarterback, and then the linebackers sniff out the screen, and they finish up the play.
Will Hummert back deep to return this punt on 4th and 15. 5 to go in the opening quarter. And Colleyville ahead 8-0. Low snap on the punt, and it's barely kicked away. It dribbles all the way to the 45-yard line where it goes out of bounds, maybe 46, but either way, not a great punt. Colleyville's first drive started at the Bulldogs 39. They'll be in plus territory to begin their second drive as well. They only needed 3 plays to get into the end zone last time. A couple of runs and then the shot to Lucas Sunwall for 27 yards. We'll see what's in store for the Panthers here. It's Gabe Best starting in the backfield once more. We've seen Gerard Wiley, the typical starting running back, playing safety out there early in this game. Gabe Best gets wrapped up. Nice play defensively made by Robert Busby, the senior defensive tackle who wraps down Gabe Best. And no room to go, 2nd and 10.
I think the game plan is pretty obvious tonight for the Panthers. I think they want to establish the run, get a couple runs going, and then take those deep shots down the field.
Weaver with the shotgun snap. Time down the field. Now has to evade the pressure. Weaver takes his shot, looking for Dressel, but it falls out of bounds. And it sets up 3rd and 10.
Great coverage on the back end for Everman. And also, the defensive line did a really good job of getting after him, forcing him to escape the pocket earlier than he wanted to, and forcing him out to roll out to the right. He had to throw the ball away. There was nothing down the field. So great coverage and great pursuit by the Bulldogs defense.
Got 3 on the defensive line for the Bulldogs here on 3rd and 10. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. 1 and Landon Dressel comes in motion. Now Weaver sees a ton of pressure. He steps up at the pocket, fires a missile there to Dressel, but it's too high. He can't corral it. And that Bulldogs defensive line, the last 2 plays, forcing pressure on Bodie Weaver.
It was a great play call. Landon Dressel, he runs out of the backfield on a wheel route. Bodie Weaver finds him. He throws it just a little bit too high. It hits his fingertips and falls out of bounds.
Colleyville looked like they were going to go for it, but their quarterback can also punt the ball away, and he does that right here. And Colleyville lets this one continue to roll, and that's a perfect punt by Bodie Weaver. Downed at the 1-yard line, so Everman, their first 2 drives start at their own 18, even tougher here at their own 1-yard line.
And that was the key to the game. You got to dominate the special teams. So far, Colleyville has done just that.
So Everman backed up at their own 1-yard line after the Bodie Weaver punt. There has been pressure, though, on that Everman front. Defensively, Daniel Dixon on that 3rd and 10, flushing Weaver out of the pocket. He couldn't connect with Landon Dressel. And now Princeton Roberts, maybe you see a quarterback sneak here, and instead there's movement up front.
There's a flag on the play.
The right guard flinching for a false start. They won't be penalized the full 5 yards, just a half-yard penalty, but they go half of the distance to the goal when they didn't really have much distance to get closer to the goal line, but a false start on their own 1-yard line.
False start on the Bulldogs.
You're in a safety watch right now if you're Colleyville. They've already put 2 points on the board in the form of a 2-point conversion. And the defense hungry to potentially get more. You see Joey Nisbet, he is lined up number 0, the linebacker, right in front of the center. And now Roberts falls down. The pigskin is out, and that is going to be a safety. Ball pops out. Colleyville able to hop on it, and they get a safety.
The Bulldogs have been struggling all game to get something going through the air. Colleyville knew it was going to be a run the entire time. They sent the entire house. The defensive line gets into the backfield. The pigskin coughs up in the air. He gets it right back right before the Panthers could collapse on it, and it results in the safety. Great pursuit by the Panthers defensive line again.
Yeah, Princeton Roberts, who we saw a quarterback sneak on 1st and 10 from their own 18. He gained 2. He was looking to hand that one off, but he slipped in the end zone and the ball pops out, trying to get it to Kenyon Childress, who he hopped on the football, but the sad part about it was he had to hop on it, and when you go down in the end zone, it's 2 points for the opposition. So Colleyville with a safety, they're now up 10-0. Not the traditional way to go up 10-0, touchdown field goal, but touchdown, 2-point conversion, safety. Those are the...
We'll take it any way we can get it. 10 points is 10 points.
10 points is 10 points, and that's what Colleyville has on the board now by way of a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and now safety. And that safety set up by a brilliant special teams play. Bodie Weaver's punt down at the 1-yard line. And on the next play, after they had a false start, which backed them up to the half-yard line, they couldn't get it out of their own end zone, and Everman suffers the safety. So now you have the option to punt or kick. They opt to kick it away after the safety. And here is Aaron Hutchins to boot it away at the 20-yard line. He sends this one off, short kick, and it's still loose, and Connor Supacase falls on it at the 50-yard line. So no return, but still great field position. Their first drive for Colleyville at the 39 of the Bulldogs, then the 45, and now the 50. So they haven't had to start in their own territory tonight as the Panthers offense comes out for their third drive. I guess you could say it's their own territory because the nose of the football is just shy of the 50, but either way, solid field position for these first 3 drives for the Panthers.
Yeah, you'll take the ball at the 49 at any time.
Now it's Colin Bennett in the backfield, but it's a connection to Landon Dressel. He is stopped up. Tackles made by Michael Donald. A gain on the play for Colleyville up to just beyond the 45-yard line. So a 2nd and 3 from the 43. Weaver keeps it himself, and he spins into 2 tacklers. And the stop made by Dwan Smith sets up 3rd and 3 for the Panthers. But first couple series, Gabe Best. Now you see Colin Bennett, the tailback for the Panthers.
Yeah, they're going to rotate. They're going to mix and match this game. Everybody's going to get an opportunity.
Bennett's looked good in his limited opportunities to carry the ball. Weaver has the Bulldogs jump off. He takes a free shot down the field. And, he dropped it right in there for Connor Supacase. He can't haul it in. A couple of flags fly in the secondary. And it looks like both of these are going to be against the Bulldogs. One's going to be offsides. One looks like a pass interference.
Yeah, great awareness by Bodie Weaver here. You see the defensive lineman. He jumps off sides. Bodie Weaver knows it. He throws his shot down the left sideline to Connor Supacase. You see he's interfered with. He still almost makes the grab, almost makes an amazing catch, but he can't because he's being held so much on the play. But great awareness by Bodie Weaver and great shot down the field, and we'll take that 15 yards.
Michael Lockhart, who is penalized on the pass interference. Colin Bennett on the year, he just has 8 carries for 81 yards. That's 10 per carry. So limited carries, as we mentioned. Most of those came in the fourth quarter in a blowout against the Colony. Let's not forget, though, he was a big component of Colleyville's rushing attack a couple years ago as Bodie Weaver slips down. So he had plenty of space to run.
Yeah, he had plenty of space. He gets out the pocket. He's got a nice running lane, but the turf monster just gets him. It's been a lot of slipping going on both sides of the ball, or for both teams.
Weaver with the snap, plenty of time in the pocket, just down to his running back. Colin Bennett shakes a tackle, puts his head down to the 20. And Colin Bennett going to be just shy of the first down. Good pickup.
Knocked out of bounds by a couple of Bulldogs.
Utilized in the receiving game as well. The senior tailback had a big sophomore year. A down year a year ago, but number 26, perhaps another opportunity. Mentioned a key to the game was the running attack outside of Bodie Weaver to create a couple of threats with the legs in the backfield. Now 3rd and 2. Weaver keeps it himself. And he has a first down and some. Weaver up to the 15, a pickup of about 6. As Colleyville's offense chugs along into the red zone.
Yeah, he just makes it look so easy. That time the Bulldogs were looking for the pass the entire time. They were focused on the pass. Bodie Weaver just takes it and picks up that first down on the left side.
Weaver with the snap. Fires to Colin Bennett. Takes a big hit, but he has a nice catch. That's Michael Lockhart who applies to the hit on Colin Bennett. Lockhart was just penalized for pass interference a moment ago.
And Colin Bennett getting involved in the passing game again. Catches it out the backfield. Takes a big hit, but he took it like a champ.
So picks up 5 yards. Make it 6, 2nd and 4 for Colleyville.
Got man-to-man coverage here.
And that's man-to-man coverage in the end zone as well. Landon Dressel scores. Bodie Weaver, 2 touchdowns through the air tonight. Landon Dressel hauls it in for the touchdown. The senior wide receiver coming through once again, his 2nd TD catch of the year.
Bodie Weaver, that run pass option. Here's Landon Dressel. He gives a shake and bake, and he catches it in man coverage right there in the end zone. Nice play, nice connection from Bodie Weaver and Landon Dressel, and they do a really good job of spreading the wealth.
To the point after, Andrew Roy for the PAT. It is good. So Colleyville 17-0. They're on top late in the first quarter. We will step aside. This is Panther Friday Night on Tradio.
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. Number 1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
A 7-play, 50-yard drive for the Panthers. Finished off by a Bodie Weaver touchdown pass, up to 18 on the season. And the second caught by Landon Dressel from 9 yards out, and Colleyville leads 17-0.
Yeah, so far the offense is firing on all cylinders. They're continuing to put points on the board. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Landon Dressel to send this one off. Here is Strickland on the return. Bobbled it for a moment, and now it's Will Kennedy. Wraps him up along with Ryan Lloyd on the kick return coverage. So Everman once again, they haven't had good field position tonight. On their 4 drives, it's been their own 18, their own 18, their own 1, and now once again setting up inside their own 20-yard line right at the 15. So not good field position tonight. Another special teams. Good kick coverage this evening for Colleyville. Also another component of that was the bobbled return. But either way, Colleyville in business right now, up 17-0. Getting a lot of different guys in the mix so far. Roberts back to throw. Hayden West comes in on the safety blitz and gets the sack.
Yep, Coach Edwards, he dials up that defensive back blitz.
Princeton Roberts is brought down
Here comes
behind the
Hayden
line
West
by
right here on your
7-7,
screen.
Hayden West.
He's just unblocked, and he
Second
gets to
down
the
and
quarterback
13 for the
right there
Bulldogs.
on a safety blitz. Nobody picks him up for the Bulldogs, and Hayden West just has a free route to the quarterback.
So just about 40 seconds to go. Colleyville already a pair of sacks in this one. One from Demarius Logan, one there from Hayden West, 2nd and 13. And a handoff. LeBron Bodie on the carry. Not able to get back to the initial line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. That'll take us to the end of the opening quarter here. 17-0 Colleyville with the lead, as we'll switch sides and come back with you next. This is Panther Friday Night on Tradio.
Quarter, going to the second.
Do you have a dream of having a pool and a backyard oasis? Well, it's time to talk to the professionals at J. Caldwell Custom Pools. From new construction to remodeling to service and maintenance, J. Caldwell Custom Pools is your custom pool builder and outdoor living design expert, serving you with 2 locations, Hudson Oaks and Fort Worth. Because life is too short for ordinary backyards. Dive in and find out more at jcaldwellcustompools.com.
From your first paycheck to your first home. Starting your own business or celebrating your retirement, we're here for all of life's important moments. At Simmons Bank, our modern banking solutions make managing your finances effortless and efficient, so you can focus on what matters most. Simmons Bank, proud supporter of the moments that matter. SimmonsBank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all accounts subject to approval.
Panther Friday Night on Tradio, a 3rd down upcoming for the Bulldogs. Colleyville's defense playing well right now. They've allowed just 1 first down so far. And under center now, the quarterback, Princeton Roberts. They look for misdirection in the backfield. They get it there. Huge run up the field from Maurice Donald. The best play of the night for the Bulldogs offense. And it goes for a big gain and a first down on 3rd and 13. They run the ball. And it moves the chains for the Bulldog, keeping their drive alive.
And that time the Panthers sent Hayden West on another defensive back blitz. He got into the backfield, but he just missed the tackle. You got to make that tackle. You can't give up 11 yards on a misdirection handoff on 3rd down. It's just unacceptable.
So 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Roberts, deep shot down the field. Intended target was Barrington Strickland. Chase Gibson was in the coverage for Colleyville. That'll set up a 2nd and 10 incomplete.
Great coverage there by Chase Gibson. Man-to-man coverage. Throws a go route down the right side of the sideline, and he was with him step by step. Nowhere and no comfortability on that route.
Strickland is their leading receiver on the year. He has 4 catches for 114 yards, so getting about 29 yards a catch, but not very many of them, just 4. A team that typically keeps the ball on the ground like they do right here, and Joey Nisbet's all over it. He brings down Maurice Donald in the backfield, and the tackle for loss tonight for Colleyville piling up here in the first half.
Yep, here's Joey Nisbet. He comes from that middle linebacker position. You're going to see him come right there. He sniffs it out. And a nice tackle grabbing him by the legs and making sure he does not go anywhere.
Joey Nisbet can get into the backfield at a really high level this second quarter, brought to you by Compass Church. And we thank all our great sponsors here for Panther Friday Night on Tradio. 17-0 Colleyville leading a 3rd and 15. Bulldogs from their own 24. Empty backfield, 5 out wide. Roberts stepping up in the pocket, looking to throw, and instead it's Joey Nisbet in on the action again. as he pushes the quarterback back to the 15-yard line, but he may get flagged for the way that he brought the quarterback down. As the flag flies during the tackle, did he grab part of the face mask, or we'll see what the tackle will be, or what the penalty will be here, Trammell.
But look at Joey Nisbet. He's in coverage. He sees that the quarterback is scrambling, so he just runs straight to the quarterback, pulls him down, and I think he does get a little bit of the face mask there. Yes, you could see it there. You slow it down, he gets it right there. Yep, he's pulling it. They're going to flag him 15 yards.
So a personal foul for the face mask against Joey Nisbet puts the ball just shy of the 40-yard line for Everman.
15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
As they try to put a drive together. Chase Gibson, Eli Woldery, the corners. Gerard Wiley, Hayden West, the safeties. And some movement up front. And after 15 positive yards and penalties for Everman, they'll back up 5 on a false start.
It's their third false start of the game. Getting a little jittery and antsy on that offensive line. Got to be a little bit more disciplined.
One of those false starts happening at their own 1-yard line as well. That set up a safety as they had to put the ball at their own half-yard line. So first and long here for Princeton Roberts. Roberts rid of it quickly, too high for the target of Barrington Strickland.
Roberts pass falls in.
And a 2nd and 15 awaits.
He had him wide open. Could have picked up a couple of extra yards after the catch, but he just sails that ball in the air, and it was too high, goes out of bounds, and that's a loss of a down. And now they're facing 2nd and 15. That play is going to hurt because it gets you off schedule now. You are already off schedule on 1st and 15. Now you're facing 2nd and 15. You could have picked up some good yardage on that play, but instead you miss a good opportunity.
And for Everman, being on schedule seems really important because they're not a team that really airs the ball out. So getting in these tough down and distances can be a challenge, and that's where they are now, 2nd and long. And they reverse it off to Maurice Donald, but he can't go anywhere. Dax Hebeson, Joey Nisbet, and DeMarshe Logan all right there up front. That's something Coach Edwards mentioned they worked on in practice because of the unconventional way this Bulldogs offense works. Some wing sets, some reverses, misdirections, getting the ball in the hands of their athletes in the backfield. They haven't seen a lot of that this year, but they feel prepared for it, and they had an extra week to do it with a bye here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of preparation with the bye week. And like we said, Everman needs to stay on schedule. That 2nd down really hurt them, and then they lose some more yardage on 2nd down. Here we are on 3rd.
A low snap, and then it's put right into the chest of a hard LeBron Bowdy running up the gut. He gets up to the 42-yard line, set up
Number 4, LeBron.
a 4th down and long. Now the sticks on the field say 3rd down. So check that. They got penalized twice. That set up a 2nd and 20.
Okay.
And now
3rd and 11 for the Bulldogs.
it'll set up a 3rd and 11 as we get on schedule on the down and distance, but Everman's still off schedule. 3rd and long here, 8.5 to go in quarter number 2. Roberts, he rolls out to his left. Throws a Hail Mary down the field, and Eli Wollery breaks it up. Barrington Strickland, the target. Wollery now down on the field, helped up by Gerard Wiley and Chase Gibson for a moment, and he gets up on his own power.
Wow, great recovery by Eli Wollery because he was beat in coverage on this play. He launches it downfield. You see he's beat right here. That ball is just slightly underthrown. If that ball is thrown a little further out, he's beat in coverage, but he still makes it back, and he takes advantage of the underthrown ball. Great recovery by Eli Wollery. He saved a massive play.
He really did, and he really did, and the ball hits off his arm as this punt goes really short. And it will go out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So no yards really on that punt right there. Just a couple of yard punt will put Colleyville in advantageous field position once again. Again, they've started all their drives at the 50 or better in plus territory, and that's going to be again the case. But back to Eli Wolder. He recovers, but he's running back to try to cover Strickland and just puts his arms up, and the ball hits off his arm. Didn't even know. He didn't turn around for the ball, but it just hit off his arm as he was looking to make that play, as you saw in the replay.
Yeah, it's just our night tonight.
Bodie Weaver and company back on the field. Colin Bennett right next to him. Out of the shotgun for a 1st and 10 from the 43. Weaver hit to the outside. It's Connor Supakase, who's forced out. Just a few yards on the gain. 2nd and 8 awaits. They love those outside hits outside the numbers to their wideouts, and there's plenty of them. Bodie Weaver distributes the wealth with Connor Supakase, Landon Dressel, and Lucas Sumwall out on the field right now. And you can't forget about Trevi Preicha also in this receiving core. Blake Wendler going in motion. Colin Bennett on the carry. In between the tackles, he bursts through the hole and right to the line to gain. That'll pick up a Colleyville 1st down as they move the chains. Yes, they do move the chains right there. Colin Bennett, nice run.
Yep, that type of run right there is going to get you set up for a play action, and you can get something right down the seam. I feel it coming really soon. I think it might come here.
So Bennett next to Weaver. In a 4 wide receiver set, Bennett goes in motion. And he catches on the outside. Colin Bennett hits acceleration up to the 10-yard line, down at the 8. And man, Colin Bennett turned on the jets right there, running up the sideline on the screen. Just a quick hit out in the flat to the tailback, and he did the rest after the catch.
On that replay here, you see Colin Bennett. He's out there in motion. He runs in the flat. Bodie Weaver is going to find him. He's just going to catch it. He's going to get those yards after the catch. He just runs right past his defender, and then he's going to pick up the rest with his legs and his physicality.
Colin Bennett with some impressive bursts on the speed.
But they're going to call it back for a holding.
So you wipe that away, but good to see for Colin Bennett out of the backfield, because as much as you want the runs in on the play before he runs in between the tackles, positive gains, you want to see that for this Colleyville offense down the stretch. But even those short passes as well to your running backs, that can really work as runs, and those short passes as well can work. Bodie Weaver after the flag, and he finds Lucas Sumwall down around the 15-yard line.
We have another penalty marker on the field. Let's see what this...
Number 10, Samir Johnson. He's brought down by number 13, Michael Donald. It's a 1st down for the Panthers.
So 1st and 10 for Colleyville from the 15-yard line. 6 minutes left until halftime. Colleyville to start with the ball in the second half. Weaver.
Got one high safety here.
The handoff to Colin Bennett. And he is dropped for a big loss. In on the play, Daniel Dixon. Loss of about 5 on the play. We'll put Colleyville in 2nd and 15. With a 17-0 lead. Weaver has got the time, goes for the end zone, looks for Trevi Preicha out of his reach.
He had him, just sailed it a little bit too high. Good look, just need a better throw, but he had it there in that window.
Bodie Weaver, he's had time to throw tonight. A few pressures by that front. But that loss of 5 on first down sets them up to now on 3rd and 15. Want to throw the football again. Bennett goes in motion. And they screen it to Blake Wendler. What a great counter off that play. And Wendler all the way down to the 1-yard line. Last time Bennett went out in motion, they went to him. This time there's the tight end who muscles forward right toward the goal line.
Yep. The Panthers are going to run a tight end screen here on this play. You see him right there. They're just going to dump it off. There he is. And he's just going to do the rest with his legs. They're pulling on his jersey. It doesn't matter. He still wants more contact. And he does his best to try to get it into the end zone, but he's stuffed, or he stopped just short.
And Weaver with the snap. Back of the end zone, Trevi Preicha has it. 3 passing touchdowns for Bodie Weaver in the first half, set up by the tight end screen to Blake Wendler to get him to the 1. And Trevi Preicha hauls in the touchdown. His 3rd of the season, Bodie Weaver's 3rd of the night.
As you see right here, Gerard Wiley is in motion. Great fake to him. Bodie Weaver scrambles to the right, and he's going to have a wide open man in the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the day.
Trevi Preicha, 3 TDs on the season for him. The point after is no good. So Colleyville does not convert the extra point by Roy, but Colleyville in business right now, up 23-0, 4:40 to go in the first half.
Colleyville Heritage, 0 for the Bulldogs.
Do you know what makes a biscuit a Bo biscuit? There it is. Small batch biscuits, just minutes from the oven, with crunchy hand-breaded chicken. Now you know. The Carolina legend is here. If you know, you Bo.
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. #1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
Number 14, Landon Dressel to kick for the Panthers.
So Colleyville taking advantage of quality field position once again tonight. A short punt allowed them to start at the 43 of the Bulldogs. They go 7 plays. And a short touchdown pass to Trevi Preicha, number 3 of the night for Bodie Weaver. 19 touchdown passes now for the senior quarterback. Headed to UTEP. This is just the 6th game, and he's thrown 19 in the air. 5 more on the ground. And Colleyville in control in this one, up 23-0 with 4:37 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're playing great on all 3 phases of the ball. Offense is clicking. The defense is doing what they're supposed to do. They've only given up 2 first downs in this game. And then the special teams is doing fantastic in kickoff coverage and getting the ball in great field position for their offense. Perfect game so far for the Panthers.
Hard to point anything out in the negative when you have a 23-0 lead in the second quarter. And so we highlight the great things Colleyville is doing. Pressure coming on the linebacker blitz there by Braden Edwards, and that forced the quarterback Princeton Roberts to throw it out of bounds, 2nd and 10. But why be negative? Well, great reasons to be positive for the Colleyville Heritage Panthers, a team that you look back a couple of weeks ago, they suffer a couple of hard, tough losses, and then a bye week, and they had to sit on that for a couple of weeks, and now they come back out there after the bye, and they look really good, albeit against a 1-5 Everman squad. They're playing good football here tonight, and they are tackling at a high level, as you see right there. Will Kennedy, Dax Ebeson, nothing doing for the running back, LeBron Bowdy, and it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, they're swarming to the football. They know it's a run play coming. Everybody is there. You see he gets right there through his block, and then, boom, there's cleanup right there by Joey Nisbet. He doesn't get him down, but everybody else swarms to the football, and they do a really good job of just getting after it.
We'll see if they can get after it on a 3rd and 10 here. Everman at their own 25. Their best field position of the 9, and it came by way of a fair catch on the kickoff. And the Bulldogs take a timeout. They want to talk more about what this 3rd and 10 will look like for them as they try to keep a drive alive with 3:48 to go in the half. Colleyville up big. We'll step aside with the timeout as well.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
$23-0 the score, 3:48 on the clock in the first half. And the Bulldogs facing a 3rd and 10 from their own 25. Best field position of the night for the Bulldogs. And it's Roberts, the quarterback, looking to throw and had a wide open man too high for Barrington. Strickland. Pressure was coming down. Will Kennedy chasing after the quarterback, and they couldn't connect. It's a 4th and 10. And the special teams unit comes out for Everman, which has been a challenge as well tonight, getting clean punts off. We'll see if they can flip the field here.
Yeah, that would be the best case scenario for them, is to flip the field. But again, another missed opportunity. The pressure gets there. He just sails it a little bit too high, and they can't pick up that first down. They really needed something going for their offense because they're starting to get behind a little bit too much.
And so the punt, it's solid, goes out around the 33. Will Hummert, no return. So the Panthers with 3.5 minutes left in the first half, up 23-0 in all 3 timeouts, along with getting the ball back to start the second half. They definitely have a chance not only to add on, but put themselves in a good position coming out of the locker room to do the same. The offense, they've scored on 3 of their first 4 drives tonight, and the defense has added in the scoring as well with a safety. And so the Panthers come on out from their own 33, a 1st and 10, 4 out wide for Colleyville. Weaver scans the field. He checks it to the running back, Gabe Bess, who runs up the sideline, tackled and pushed out by Michael Donald.
Knocked out of bounds by number 13, Michael
The
Donald.
Bulldogs are really trying to take away that big play, and that's what the Panthers offense is looking for. They're looking for that big play down the field. It's not really there yet, so Bodie Weaver has done a lot of check downs to his running backs, and it's really worked.
And 2 high safeties. And so Bodie will give it off to Gabe Bess, enough for the first down. As Bess lunges across the 45-yard line. But that's an interesting way to try to defend, because these receivers certainly are perimeter threats when they can go 4 out wide, and they've all been able to be threats to catch the ball. But with 2 on the perimeter, 2 lining up in the slot, they also have that ability to find the soft spots in this zone. With Trevi Price, nobody lined up against him. And Weaver looking for the deep shot, but instead he is sacked. Really nice play, wrapped up by the right arm of the defensive lineman Daniel Dixon, who's had a really good night tonight, number 53 in purple.
Yeah, that time Bodie Weaver, he's looking for that crossing route right down the middle. He's looking. He should get rid of it right here.
4-yard loss.
Just too late. And number 53 gets to him. He's having a big night, like you said. He's getting some pressures.
Here's Bess. Nowhere to go. That's Daniel Dixon again. Dixon lined up against Muhannad Ramadan, the right tackle, posing some problems for Colleyville. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. Colleyville going to be facing a 3rd and long on the other side. We'll step aside. Panther Friday Night on Tradio continues after this.
Do you know Carolina flavor? That's it. It's Southern, but with a little oomph in it. Now you know. The Carolina legend is here. If you know, you Bo.
It's Panther Friday Night on Tradio, 23-0 score. 2-minute timeout we've reached here in the first half. Colleyville's offense facing a 3rd and 14 from the 42-yard line. They do have all 3 timeouts. The defense has been a big story for the Panthers in this first half. Everman's drives so far tonight: punt, safety, punt. So 4 punts and a safety. They haven't had much going on offense. You can see that by the 0 on the scoreboard so far. Just a couple of first downs. One came via penalty. Bodie Weaver is pressured. He steps up, breaks a tackle, spins across the 50, down at the 48. It'll set up a 4th down.
Brought down by number 12, Michael Lockhart.
The offense staying out there. Bodie Weaver in a similar position on the field, maybe a little further down, punted it away and downed it at the 1-yard line. One play later, Everman tackled in the end zone for a safety, but with 90 seconds left in the half, looks like they're going to go for this one on 4th and just 4.
This time there's only one deep safety.
And Lucas Sumwall trying to get off the field in time. Looks like it's going to be an illegal substitution against Colleyville. With too many men on the field at the time as they're setting up their formation. Thought it could have been a time for them to burn one of those timeouts, but instead Colleyville penalized. And Landon Dressel will come out. And the penalty will force them to punt on 4th and 9 with 1:17 left. So not looking to push the envelope on 4th and 9 from about midfield. As it's Dressel back to punt this one for the Panthers. Gets it off, booms it away. And it's down around the 21-yard line. Actually downed, caught by Everman initially. It's Damian Bedford, not the man who was deep to return, but the ball's in his hands and he gets tackled around the 21. So 54 seconds to work with for Everman. They have one timeout.
Everman will take over on the 22-yard line.
This is one of their best starting field positions of the game.
Yeah, last drive from their own 25 was their best, and now at the 22-yard line. Right, just 3 yards shy of their best because they started at their own 18, their own 18, their own 15, their own 1, their own 25, and now their own 22. So bad field position all night long, and that's tough works for an offense that has not really gathered much tonight in terms of moving the football down the field.
Yeah, only 2 first downs in this game. More punts than first downs.
And now that is caught there by Strickland. He had plenty of space, and he moves up the field, tackled by Blackson. But Strickland makes it across the 40 up to the 43. 40 seconds on the clock. One timeout left for Everman. as they're trying to put together a drive before halftime. And Roberts down the field again, and it's hauled in once more. Here's Kavant Blair on the catch, up to the 42-yard line. And he gets out of bounds with 27 seconds left. So this 2-minute offense showcasing the best offensive drive of the night for Everman into Colleyville territory.
Yeah, maybe they're going to have to continue to run no huddle and run that hurry-up offense. I mean, they've had success on back-to-back plays. 2 throws, 2 first downs.
And you think the scoreboard will also make them have to go quickly, down 23-0, but a score here could put them in a position to have confidence going into the locker room. Screen here to Strickland. He breaks a tackle, spins against another, and across the 35-yard line he goes, and a timeout called. Everman 16 seconds to work with. No timeouts left now. We saw a similar situation, different game situation in terms of the score, but Colleyville, last week, they burned their final timeout with 9 seconds left. They were around the 25-yard line, took a shot toward the end zone, got down at the 1, tried to spike it, but were not set, were penalized, and with no time left in the clock moving, the 10-second runoff, just the 1-second runoff didn't matter, and Colleyville was into halftime. Now with 16 seconds left, they have time for a completion and field goal try, but you'd think they probably would try for the end zone a couple of times here, just knowing the score, and knowing 3 won't really do us much because we'll still be down 3 scores.
Yeah, and then also it's still high school football, so you're kind of limited when it comes to kicking field goals. You want to get as close as you can. Right now, it wouldn't be a good look at a field goal, so yeah, you might see some attempts in the end zone.
Definitely what's going to be in the works, and if they do get a completion, try to spike it quickly. If they get yards, then they put themselves in a position to take a shot sooner or closer down the field. But a huge blitz comes. Joey Nisbet, that ball is just somehow got rid of by the quarterback, Princeton Roberts, but Joey Nisbet came in crashing, and Roberts somehow gets rid of it.
Yeah, you'll see here on this replay, Joey Nisbet right down the middle, unblocked, gets to the quarterback, almost gets a sack, but he releases it just in time. And it's going to be 3rd and 1.
The ball took an interesting bounce because
there is a flag on the play.
Okay, they might call intentional grounding.
That's one thing, because it was almost going as backwards on the pass. He somehow got rid of it, obviously, and they throw the flag. Obviously, with a grounding call, you have to look at, was he outside of the tackle box? Was there a receiver in the area? There was not a receiver in the area.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. All you had was offensive linemen, and they're not eligible. And, yep, they're going to call an intentional ground, and they're going to back up all the way to the 48-yard line.
And the clock's still moving.
Uh-oh.
And so they have to get this final play off. They finally get it off as time expires in the first half. Final play of the half here. Roberts running for his life. Colleyville just trying to chase him down. He somehow continues to keep the play alive and throws a bomb down the field. And it's broken up by Hayden West, and that's how the half ends. What a wild play as Princeton Roberts was running all around the backfield to either sideline. Takes his shot, but Colleyville was there.
Yeah, Roberts on that play, he's just running around and around and around. He really wants to get his feet set. He ends up getting around to the left corner. He gets a block, and he sets his feet, and he gets the ball that he wanted. It just didn't get enough air and didn't reach the end zone, and it gets batted down. Great finish to the half by the Panthers defense, and they're going to go into the locker room with a 23-point lead.
We'll take a timeout. 23-0 your score. Colleyville in control.
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. #1 in the world. priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
Do you have a dream of having a pool and a backyard oasis? Well, it's time to talk to the professionals at J. Caldwell Custom Pools. From new construction to remodeling to service and maintenance, J. Caldwell Custom Pools is your custom pool builder and outdoor living design expert, serving you with 2 locations, Hudson Oaks and Fort Worth. Because life is too short for ordinary backyards. Dive in and find out more at jcaldwellcustompools.com.
From your first paycheck to your first home. Starting your own business or celebrating your retirement, we're here for all of life's important moments. At Simmons Bank, our modern banking solutions make managing your finances effortless and efficient, so you can focus on what matters most. Simmons Bank, proud supporter of the moments that matter. SimmonsBank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all accounts subject to approval.
Do you know what makes a biscuit a Bo biscuit? There it is. Small batch biscuits, just minutes from the oven, with crunchy hand-breaded chicken. Now you know the Carolina legend is here. If you know, you Bo.
American power. Texas Drive, classic Chevrolet. Number 1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys, more than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
At halftime, a 23-0 lead for Colleyville. We're going to look back at some of the highlights from the first half. This is the Replay Room, a new segment here for Panther Friday Night on Tradio this evening at Everman. Again, 23-0 the score, and we'll look back at some of the plays. Here, Bodie Weaver rolls out of the pocket, looks down the field. This was the touchdown to Lucas Sumwall. He had plenty of time to find his target.
Yes, right here is a play-action handoff. It got started with the handoff for a gain of 10 on the previous play. Bodie Weaver, he comes here, he scrambles to the right, and he looks for his man who is wide open in the end zone to begin the day with the first score on the scoreboard. Colleyville up 7-0.
Yeah, that run-pass option worked well. That was the first drive. They only needed 3 plays here. Everman backed up in their own territory, and they just have a tough sequence. This came after a false start penalty that put them at their own 1-yard line.
Yeah, you see it here, slowed down. They're going to snap the football. Here he is. He slips a little bit as he's trying to hand the ball off to the running back. He does slip. He falls. He hands it off. The running back and the quarterback do not get on the same page. Luckily, the Bulldogs are able to fall on it afterwards. You see the ball is right here, coughed up. He falls right back on top of it, and then the Panthers swarm to him and get him for a safety. 9-0 Colleyville.
Yeah, Colleyville doing great things right there, and then they drive back down again, and Bodie Weaver doing things with his arm, single coverage, Landon Dressel for the score.
Yep, watch Landon Dressel here on this play. Bodie Weaver, he's going to snap the ball. It's man coverage. You see Landon Dressel here on the right. Watch him. Watch this move that he's going to give. He's going to give a little shake to the outside, and he's going to get in the inside. And he just creates that separation and gets another touchdown on the board for the Panthers.
Yeah, there wasn't really tight coverage, and Landon Dressel really took advantage of it, cutting in for the end zone. And then they're there to score once again, and this was a brilliant design.
Oh, brilliant design. There's Bodie Weaver. He had 2 men wide open in the back of the end zone. He just picks one. Look at this design. Here is Gerard Wiley running in the backfield. They're going to fake it to him. Look at that fake right there. Then Bodie Weaver, he's going to survey to the right. He's going to scramble a little bit. And then, boom, right there in the back of the end zone, his 3rd passing touchdown of the day. And that one went to Trevi Preicha.
Yeah, it was the 3rd of the year for Trevi Preicha as well. That creativity in the red zone has been pretty good. And then right here, it's Princeton Roberts who just goes nowhere but backwards. And that was all set up because Joey Nisbet.
Yeah, Joey Nisbet is so good at blitzing the quarterback. This time, he's going to come right down the middle, unblocked. Right down the middle, unblocked. And there's nowhere to go for the quarterback. Joey Nisbet is so fast, so athletic, and so skilled. He throws the football away, but he's going to be called for an intentional grounding, so that's going to be called as a sack. Another sack for Joey Nisbet. He's been fantastic all year when it comes to blitzing up that middle.
So that's our replay room. You saw 3 passing touchdowns from Bodie Weaver. You see a safety and there a sack, which Colleyville had 3 of them in the opening half, and they lead again 23-0 here at Everman. Looking to go to 2-2 in district play before they play Seguin next week around the district. A lot of things happening. 4:21 to go until we get ready for this second half of action. But right now, 23-0 the score. That is the replay room. We will step aside. Second half going to be coming up on the other side. This is Panther Friday Night on Tradio.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Do you know Carolina flavor? That's it. It's Southern, but with a little oomph in it. Now you know. The Carolina legend is here. If you know, you bow.
American power. Texas Drive, classic Chevrolet, number 1 in the world. Limited time, a special selection of new Chevys, more than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
It's halftime here at Everman. Colleyville leading in this one 23-0. Bodie Weaver, 3 touchdowns on the evening, all through the air. Now 19 passing touchdowns on the season. He continues to rack them up, and Colleyville leading 23-0. As halftime in progress now, about to expire, just a few minutes left in this halftime programming. He is Tremel Jeffers. I am Will Connerly. Tim Polster alongside us in the booth tonight as well. Our technical director, our entire Tradio crew. Thankful that you have spent some time with us here on this Friday night from Everman, where Colleyville leads 23-0 at the break. And a way to describe this first half for Colleyville was just dominant, both sides of the ball, and the other component of the game that can be forgotten so often, special teams as well, kick coverage, pinning a punt down at the 1-yard line, setting up a safety as well. Just a complete ball game, and they're playing complementary football, and that's why you see a 23-0 at least score right now for the Colleyville Heritage Panthers in control in this one here on the road.
Yeah, complete control on all 3 facets of the game. Like you said, the offense is doing fantastic. They scored on every single drive except for that very last one in the second quarter. 3 touchdowns, 4 drives, 3 touchdowns. They're not settling for field goals. They're putting that ball in the end zone. The defense is doing a fantastic job. They're stopping the run. They're forcing turnovers. They're getting after the quarterback. They're generating sacks. I mean, they're doing everything. And then special teams, like you mentioned, they're pinning the offense deep at their own 1-yard line, at their own 18-yard line, at their own 22-yard line. I mean, the Bulldogs are not getting good field position, and that was one of the keys to the game, dominating special teams, and that's exactly what they've done. They've hit on all 3 keys of the game so far, and they look to continue going into the second half.
And that is something to watch here, Tremel, because with a 23-0 lead, when you go into the locker room, you go into the locker room with confidence, of course, right? Because of the score. But I think looking at how they will play as well in the second half, we mentioned playing a complete game with all 3 phases, offense, defense, special teams, but also just the fact of trying to put together a complete game in the aspect of all 4 quarters as well. And so we have seen, and we saw it early, changes with the personnel a little bit. Some different guys in the secondary and at linebacker as well, making some changes. But I think that's partially bye week, seeing things, getting guys in, reps, as well as just trying to have part of that evaluation process. But this second half, you will have an opportunity to perhaps see some more options in personnel, but also just see how this Panther squad can continue to stay focused and locked in like they were in the first half for all 4 quarters of the game. Because in most aspects here in district play, you are going to need to put together a full 4 quarters to secure a victory. And if you don't believe it, just look back a few weeks ago, up really big after 3 quarters by 3 scores, but they fall at Timberview, and that was obviously one that stung, but perhaps something that they can realize it's going to take all 4 quarters. No matter what the score is, we want to have that Panther fight to the finish, and we'll see if Jerry Edwards' squad can do that here in the second half.
And I believe that they can. They're coming off 2 straight losses. They're coming off of a bye week. Coach Edwards has them focused, and they're hungry. They want to get that win, so they're not satisfied at all. 23 points is not enough for this Panthers team.
Well, it definitely is shy of their average on the year, and they have had some explosive offensive days. Bodie Weaver, of course, a big part of that. Already 3 touchdowns in the air tonight. And we're off for the second half. Gerard Wiley on the return. He brings it across the 30-yard line. Still has some space across the 40. Gerard Wiley continues to go. There's good field position. There's special teams as they start in Bulldog territory with a brilliant return by Gerard Wiley.
Yes, brilliant return. He just follows his blocks, and he just goes right down that left sideline. If the sideline was just a little bit wider, he might have some more space to run.
Number 1,
Gerard is
Wiley
really
returns it to
impressive,
the
but
Bulldogs.
he hasn't been a guy we've
First
seen in
down
the
for the Panthers.
backfield tonight much. It's been Gabe Best and Colin Bennett.
Yeah, a lot of Colin Bennett and a lot of Gabe Best tonight. We really hadn't seen Gerard Wiley, but we've seen him in that secondary at that safety position, so they might need him more on that defensive side.
That'll be interesting to see down the stretch because obviously they're looking to get things going in the ground game. A flag flies on the first play from scrimmage of the second half for the Panthers. It's Gabe Best, speaking of the running backs, Trammell, to start this second half. He started a lot of reps in that first half as well, and then we saw Colin Bennett. Do you think, and it's offsides is the call, they blew the play dead, but do you think that that's going to be what Colleyville does down the stretch at the running back position, go with a 3-headed monster, or do you feel like maybe they're just giving guys opportunities out of the bye week and see if somebody could take that job and run with it?
I feel like they're coming out of the bye week and trying to see who's going to get that job because it has been a struggle during the season.
There is Gabe Best. Gets it for about 3, up to the 40.
Number 11,
And that is
Gabriel
another aspect of this
on the
is,
run.
okay, 23-0. You feel like you're in control. You want to be able to put together 4 quarters, but
That brings it second down.
you're
and
right.
1
That
for
running
Panthers.
back job feels like it's up for grabs amongst those 3 players, Wiley, Bennett, Bess. And it feels like they all have things they can do differently, at least. And that is a nice hit. Bodie Weaver's just precise all year long, and Landon Dressel just right on the money down the sideline.
Oh, yeah. He does a fantastic job of scrambling to that right side. That's his right throwing arm. He gets to that right side, and he's going to be patient, and he's going to find his receiver every single time.
Weaver taking it himself, and he's down at the 20.
Quarterback keeper, Bodie Weaver, brought down by number 13, Michael Donald.
So Weaver hands it off to Gabe Best, and he has nowhere to go. And Daniel Dixon, number 53 in the purple. We have called his name a lot tonight. He is getting off blocks, getting into the backfield, putting pressure on Bodie Weaver. And he's been the most impressive Everman Bulldog in my book tonight, Trammell.
Oh, for sure, by far. I mean, he's the only one that's getting that pursuit to the quarterback. He's shedding the blocks off easily. He's being really disruptive tonight.
So a 3rd and 9. This is Colleyville's first drive of the second half. There is Dixon on the edge.
One deep safety.
Weaver. End zone shot. Best with the touchdown, but it's not going to be because he stepped out of bounds and then came back in. Not allowed to do that as you saw the official's hat go down. So he was ineligible to come back in and be the first to touch the ball, which he did. Best has been very, very dangerous in the red zone, though, this year through the air. We saw the wheel route last year. Great design. Shout out to Jeremy Snyder putting together some great plays, the offensive coordinator. They've been creative at the goal line, creative in the red zone. That was more of a broken play, but Best stepped out. Now they'll settle for a field goal try.
Yeah.
A 37-yard try for Landon Dressel. Hummer on the hold, Dressel on the boot, and it's through the uprights with plenty of room to spare for Landon Dressel. And he hits from 38. We will take a timeout. Colleyville adds on. It's Panther Friday night on Tradio.
26.
Do you have a dream of having a pool and a backyard oasis? Well, it's time to talk to the professionals at J. Caldwell Custom Pools. From new construction to remodeling to service and maintenance, J. Caldwell Custom Pools is your custom pool builder and outdoor living design expert, serving you with 2 locations, Hudson Oaks and Fort Worth, because life is too short for ordinary backyards. Dive in and find out more at jcaldwellcustompools.com.
So a 26-0 lead for Colleyville. They add on 3 points with the Landon Dressel field goal on their opening drive of the second half. And now Landon Dressel set to kick this one deep. He's been really good on field goals. He spent 3 seasons having the kicking duties, sharing those in some years, but his career longs 40s, hit a couple from 35 plus this year. And right there, he's able to drill it. And so Colleyville adds on a 26-0 lead. And the defense going back out there, and Everman have not had good field position. Their best starting point was from their own 25-yard line. And Dressel swings his leg through. They'll just settle for a fair catch and get it out back to the 25. As Barrington Strickland calls for the fair catch. And now, Trammell, this Everman offense, we saw them move the ball a little bit in the 2-minute drill at the end of the first half. That was the one time they were able to put together 2 first downs on a single drive, and they did it going quickly. Is that what you think we'll see from the Bulldogs here in this second half?
I think you kind of have to. I mean, that was the only time you really got some momentum going. That was really your only successful drive of the game, and you're down 4 scores now, so you're pretty much in obvious passing situations.
Here is Roberts. It is a pass there to Blair on the screen, breaks 1 tackle and runs right into Chase Gibson. Nice quick hitter out to the junior. And he moves to the chains for a pickup.
Pass was complete to number 18, Cavant Blair.
So Cavant Blair on the reception.
First down.
Moves the ball up 10 yards for a first down up to the 35. Colleyville defending the run now. Keon Childress up the middle. Nehemiah Ole-Iwola there on the tackle. Just a gain of 2.
Yeah, they really haven't gotten much running the football up those A and those B gaps. Nothing there down the middle. All of their successful runs have been misdirections to the outside. So they want some success running the ball. It's going to have to be maybe a counter to the outside or a misdirection or a stretch play. But they're not going to get anything up that middle.
And they have shown some of that misdirection in the backfield. They look to go outside here, and it's Dax Hebeson, Will Kennedy, Nehemiah Ole-Iwola, all there on the tackle. And we go back as LeBron Bowdy is down on the carry, but or gets tackled down. But for Trammell, one of the keys to the game you brought up was yards after contact is a huge thing that Colleyville struggled with against Argyle. They broke a lot of tackles. You're seeing 2, 3, 4 guys swarm to the football on defense and not allowing Everman to break too many tackles tonight. And now they're set up at 3rd and 6. Roberts has to roll out. He looks to the sideline, has a man, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Cavant Blair, but unable to haul that in.
Pass intended for Blair, but that was incomplete.
And that all started by the safety blitz by Gerard Wiley. They disrupt the play. It forces them to rush and forces him to run out of the pocket, and unfortunately, they couldn't haul in a pass.
So ineligible receiver was down the field. That's what the flag flew, and sometimes you see that when the play's extended that much, but the Colleyville Heritage sideline declines it because it sets up 4th down.
Yeah, I didn't really like that play calling by the Bulldogs on that possession. You're down 26. You can't afford to hand the ball off 2 times in a row. You got to get some passes going. The clock is not on your side. And, I mean, you've proved that you can move the ball down the field a little bit when you go no huddle. So I don't know why they didn't opt to do that on that possession.
And then it comes 3rd down, and it's an obvious pass.
Yeah.
And makes it really tough when the pass rush gets home like that. And Will Hummert going for the ball. He gets plowed before he can catch it, and 3 flags come down on the play. All, it seems, for the same infraction. It's going to be a kick-catch interference. Unless you saw something different, Jermel.
No, I saw the same thing.
Okay.
He clearly interfered with the kick returner. Got there really early.
Kick-catch interference.
There he is right there. Yeah.
From the spot of the foul. First down,
See it slow down. Yep.
So that'll be a penalty that will set Colleyville up in advantageous field position once again at the 46-yard line after the big 15-yard penalty on the kick-catch interference.
Colleyville will take over on the 46-yard line.
They start at their own 46. Complete out to Trevi Pryshaw, pickup of 10 yards. And make it just 9, set up a 2nd and 1 for Colleyville.
Yep, that time Colleyville just runs an outside hitch route. He's wide open. Picks up a nice chunk of yards on 1st down.
It is 2nd down and 1 for the Panthers.
Bodie Weaver, plenty of time to throw. Fires a missile down the field to Lucas Sunwall. He's wrapped up at the 15. And Bodie Weaver throwing a tight spiral tonight.
Oh, he's showing you why he's committed to play at UTEP. Look at that tight spiral that he threw. Snaps the ball, that play action fake. He's waiting on his crossing route to go right down the middle. And look at that ball. Fit right in the bucket. What a throw by Bodie Weaver. Nice, tight spiral. He shows you why he is a P5 quarterback.
Weaver, flip off to Bennett, and now back to Wendler. It's a pass to the quarterback, Weaver. They go with some trick plays there, but it doesn't work out. And on that pass down the field to Lucas Sunball as well. Some pressure came, but Chandler Sampson applied a great block on the rush by Daniel Dixon, and it allowed Bodie Weaver to have plenty of time to step up in the pocket. Interesting play there with Bodie Weaver receiving the pass from Blake Wendler.
Yeah, it's just the Panthers offense, just trying to get creative and see what they can do. Try to see if they can catch the Bulldogs slipping. Nice play design.
Now Weaver keeps it himself. Runs right up the gut, straight ahead for a few. It's Colin Bennett, the running back.
Weaver on the keeper, brought down again by number 10, DeJuan Smith. 3rd down and 2 for the Panthers.
Five and a half on the clock in quarter number 3.
Got 3rd and 2 in the shotgun. I think it's a design run.
And it is. Weaver down at the 5-yard line. And so that'll set up a 4th and short for Colleyville.
Just short of the 1st down. It is 4th down and 1 for the Panthers.
And so the Panthers on 4th and 1. See Nehemiah Oleyuwola out there at right tackle. switching to 55 so he can play some offense as well this week. Weaver has Wiley come in motion. And Colleyville going to be penalized with a false start.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
And that'll make them settle for a field goal try once again for Landon Dressel, who knocked one through the uprights on the opening drive of the second half. And the second drive, same result. Or no, check that. Dressel came on, but he's coming on as a receiver. No field goal try, but 4th and 6 from the 11. Colleyville going to go for it. Colin Bennett, the running back. Super Casey out on the top of your screen. Weaver with time. Steps up, takes it himself, runs, and hesitates. End zone. Odie Weaver adds another touchdown, this time on the ground, and Colleyville puts more points on the board.
In that time, it was cover 2 coverage by the Bulldogs. Bodie Weaver, he's surveying. He's looking for that open receiver. There's nothing there. There's really no pressure from the Bulldogs until the last second. Bodie Weaver bails out. He runs to that left side, and he's going to pick up another rushing touchdown on the day, and that started with the zone coverage.
So Bodie Weaver, another rushing touchdown, as we mentioned, coming into this game. 16 passing, another 5 rushing. He's added 4 more TDs tonight. 33-0 Colleyville.
From your first paycheck to your first home, starting your own business, or celebrating your retirement, we're here for all of life's important moments. At Simmons Bank, our modern banking solutions make managing your finances effortless and efficient, so you can focus on what matters most. Simmons Bank, proud supporter of the moments that matter. SimmonsBank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all accounts subject to approval.
Number 2, Barrington Strickland back deep for the Bulldogs.
So Bodie Weaver rushes for a touchdown after throwing for 3 in the first half. And the numbers that he's putting up, we talked with Jerry Edwards this week, and at the beginning of the season, we asked him just how can you describe Bodie Weaver's growth from last year to this year? That's coming into the year. He said it's hard to describe in words. Said, well, do you have words for it now after he's put together a couple of 6 touchdown performances, another 5 TD performance, and now with 4 tonight, what he's been able to do? And he said just electric. That was the one way to just be able to describe what he's been able to do, and that is a great word for Bodie Weaver because he does it with his legs there on 4th down, nothing doing, and he's able to throw it for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's very electric. I mean, he can get it done with his arm, with his legs. I mean, you've seen it this entire season. He's got 20 touchdowns in the last 4 games. That is 5 touchdowns per game over the last 4 games. Incredible.
And a 33-0 advantage for Colleyville with 4:14 on the clock. Here in the third quarter. Everman starting the drive at their own 25. And the handoff stopped by Dax Hebeson on the carry by Childress. No gain on the play. Colleyville stopping the run with authority.
Illegal formation on the offense.
Still time left in the game. We're running out of time, but come on, Everman, you gotta get the passing game going. I know you struggled throughout most of the game, but you got something going on that last drive to end the second quarter. Let's go. And you picked up a first down on the drive before that. Come on, you got to get the passing going. On your only pass, you picked up a first down.
They go back to that pass. Cavant Blair outside the numbers up the sideline. Chase Gibson eventually escorts him out of bounds. There is a pass and a positive play for a first down, a pickup of a dozen. And those quick screens to Kavant Blair has been the brightest spot of their offense tonight.
Yeah, it's been working. The second pass of the half goes for the second first down of the half. They just keep handing the ball off, and they're not having any success. You're down 33. Stop running the ball. Let's get something going in the air.
Back to the ground here, and Colleyville there to stop it. Dax Hebeson on the tackle of Kenyon Childress, the sophomore back. With under 4 to go in the third quarter. Part of it is with Everman being a team that is just so committed to the run, it makes them play different than what their identity is. Being down big, and let's be honest, they've been down big quite a bit this season, but you're right, they have had that success through the air, and obviously it feels like that's the way they have to go to be able to put points up on the board quickly.
Yeah, and you got to move with some urgency too, and they're just not doing that in this half.
Now Roberts flushed out of the pocket. Blackson looking to push him away, and Roberts has to throw it away. 2:49, the clock stops in quarter number 3. Blackson on that pressure, forcing the throwaway. Quarter number 3 brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
15-yard penalty. Free down.
And you got a hands to the face penalty called on the Bulldogs, so they're going to move back 15 yards, and they're really just shooting themselves in the foot. So we talked about them staying on schedule, how important it was for them to stay on schedule. Now they're way behind schedule, and their offense just isn't built for it. They're not built to be behind the sticks, and that's really hurting them.
Well behind it now on 2nd and 23, and Dax Hebeson wants Roberts to go back even more. Roberts throws it out. Nowhere to go there. Huge pressure from Colleyville on that. 2nd and 23 sets up a third and nearly a quarter of the field with 2:35 on the clock in the third.
And Jerry Edwards, he's just letting the dogs loose. He's letting those middle linebackers, he's mixing it in with the defensive backs. He's letting them go blitz the quarterback, leaving man coverage. Nobody's getting open for the Bulldogs in man coverage, so why not send that pressure? Why not get there fast and rush the quarterback? He's getting out of the pocket every single time. He's getting rushed, and there is nowhere for him to go. It's a throwaway or it's a sack.
There's a wide open man. It's Barrington Strickland who breaks some tackles. Good connection from Princeton Roberts and a pickup of about 25 on the play. The best offensive play of the night for the Bulldogs coming right there. A wide open Strickland runs after the catch.
Yeah, Strickland, the Panthers defense is playing soft on that play. They're really ready to get off the field, looking for a punt on 4th down, but they give up the reception. Everybody has to rush to the football and make that tackle. They miss the tackle, and Strickland just gets those yards after the catch, and he picks up that first down. It's really unacceptable. You shouldn't give up a first down on 3rd and 25, especially on a short pass.
Now under center, and handoff up the gut to Marius Logan was the first one there. Didn't bring him down initially, but at least stopped the progress for Dax Hebeson to come in and finish off Kenyon Childress. About 2 on the clock in the third, but Logan there first, number 13 in white. Preseason district MVP defensively, and you can see he made his presence known early, had a sack on the first play from scrimmage for the Bulldogs.
He's been really disruptive in that backfield in the run game. I mean, they're not getting anything up that middle.
That is incomplete. Looking for Maurice Donald, and the ball with Chase Gibson coming in, hawking for it. It pinballed off and Rod Wiley in space as well, and it eventually goes down to the turf for an incomplete pass, 3rd and 10.
There's really nothing going down the field for the Bulldogs offense. Everything in the passing game is coming short. They're looking for those running back screens. They're trying to hit those wide receiver screens on the outside. That's really all they've had success with. Colleyville snips it out, and now they know that the short passes are coming.
Another short pass there to Strickland. He's tackled by Hayden West. Initially, a short gain on 3rd down. It sets up a 4th.
On the play. It's 4th and 6 for the Bulldogs.
About 6 to go for the Bulldogs. Under 90 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And Colleyville in complete control, up 33-0. So 4th and 6 from the 44. Everman trying to keep their drive alive. And Colleyville burns a timeout. First of the half.
First charge, timeout of the half.
Coach Edwards trying to get that perfect look on the defensive side. Just trying to make sure that his defense gets off the field and they force that turnover on downs.
4th and 6 from the 44. We haven't seen Everman in Colleyville territory often tonight.
Nope, just that one time before the half. That was their only trip into Colleyville territory. And this is the 2nd time today. But no, not many times at all. They just haven't been able to move that ball down the field. Like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it was a punt, safety, punt. I mean, the punter is really getting a good workout today. His leg is going to be sore after the game for sure. A lot of film to put on huddle, too.
Well, some of it hasn't been too good.
No, it hasn't. No, he can.
They had a 2-yard punt, but
yeah,
you're right.
He can clip that one out. He's still got a lot of film to show.
Well, no punt here, albeit 4th down. 62 seconds on the clock in the 3rd. Roberts, he has his connection there to LeBron Bowdy, and he breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone. A 44-yard touchdown after a tackle shaken off by LeBron Bowdy. Good things happening for Everman for the first time today offensively. They find the end zone for the first time.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever down. Here on this play, the Bulldogs are just going to hit that short pass like they've been doing the entire game. LeBron Downey, he's going to catch the ball. He gives a shake to the inside. And then watch this right here. Let's see if he was ever down. No, he's laying on top of the defender. Look at this. He's laying on top of the defender. He was never down. And he's going to take it all the way to the house. And they get their first points on the board.
Colleyville thought he was down. It felt like everybody stopped after the play, but he was not. Knee never touched. Rolls off the defender. And it is LeBron Bowdy who makes things happen for Everman. 33-7. Colleyville still in control, but the Bulldogs score for the first time.
Number 26, Soraya Alvarez Holmes with the extra point.
Do you know what makes a biscuit a Bo biscuit? There it is. Small batch biscuits, just minutes from the oven, with crunchy hand-breaded chicken. Now you know the Carolina legend is here. If you know, you Bo.
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. Number 1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
This return taken back by Colleyville's Connor Supacase, and he's now got space up the field. Supacase across the 50, but a few flags fly on the return. After Everman finds the end zone for the first time, it's LeBron Bowdy.
Holding on the return.
That was a 9-play, 75-yard drive by Everman, a 44-yard touchdown catch by LeBron Bowdy. The best drive of the night for Everman, their first time with points on the board.
Yeah, and before that touchdown play, they really weren't getting many yards. They were only averaging 4 yards per play. It was eight plays, 32 yards before that 44-yard touchdown. And they're throwing the ball on every play, so it shows you that they're just dinking and dunking down the field. Those short screen passes is what they were really getting. They weren't getting anything down the field until that one unfortunate touchdown play.
Now Weaver with time in the pocket. He takes a shot down the field. It's hauled in by Connor Supacase.
And that's just Bodie Weaver making things happen with his magic. Bodie Weaver is a wizard. Watch this right here. Nice RPO, the fake to the running back. He's looking on that right side. There's nothing there. He's going to go back to his left. He's going to scramble. He's going to survey to the left. And then he's going to throw a nice dime right down the sideline, and a nice diving catch by Connor Supacase for a massive first down for the Panthers.
Bodie Weaver takes it himself, running up the field, still on his feet, breaks a tackle at the 20, moves forward just outside the 15-yard line.
What a run by Bodie Weaver. I mean, this is becoming routine now. We see runs like this every game from him. Look at it here. He looks for his first read. It's not there. Here he's going to run. He's going to hit that circle button right there. He's going to spin, and then he's going to pick up some more yardage and even take a hit at the end.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up after this. Colleyville in striking distance to add on.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Do you know Carolina flavor? That's it. It's Southern, but with a little oomph in it. Now you know. The Carolina legend is here. If you know, you bow.
(33-7) the score. Alongside Tremel Jeffers, I'm Will Connerly. This is Panther Friday Night on Tradio. This fourth quarter brought to you by J. Caldwell Custom Pools. Tim Polster technically directing tonight, and our entire Tradio crew. Thankful that you are spending some time with us on this Friday night. Colleyville ahead 33-7. They're in the red zone as well to begin this fourth quarter. Weaver and Colin Bennett in the backfield. Number 88, Blake Wendler, the tight end. Weaver got the Bulldogs to jump, so he'll take a shot to Supacase, but it's out of his reach, out of bounds.
Weaver's pass goes incomplete.
I thought there was a
Second
jump
down and 10 for the
It
Panthers.
certainly looked like it.
I thought it was too, and I think Bodie Weaver thought the same thing. That's why he got rid of the ball so early. But they normally have a good chance of connecting on that play. We've seen it several times this offseason. So Bodie Weaver just gives his receiver a chance. He thought it was a free play, but that time the refs actually didn't throw a flag. Here you got that one deep safety, so now you want to see these receivers here hit the seam and attack, and you want to see him run a route right there, that fade route. There it is, touchdown, like I called it. That's exactly how you want to cover or attack that single high safety.
There you go. It is Connor Supacase who gets the touchdown. Just as you called, Tremel, he gets flagged for celebrating after, but Supacase
Yep, Bodie Weaver sees that there's one safety, meaning there is man coverage right here. He's going to throw that fade route at the top of the left side, and they're going to connect for another week. Connor Supakase and Bodie Weaver make that play all the time. We've seen it week in and week out.
A 39-7 lead now for Colleyville after the 17-yard touchdown. Connor Supakase is flagged for the personal foul on the taunting after
The score is good.
the touchdown. Touchdown was good, but he's flagged 15 yards pretty clearly, jawing after the play, letting his defender know what just happened.
Yeah, when you make a play like that, it is kind of hard not to let the defender know, but you still got to be humble, and you have to show good sportsmanship. I understand the excitement, but you got to show some good sportsmanship.
Connor Supakase and Landon Dressel, we highlighted both in our pregame. They've both found the end zone tonight. We'll be right back.
Do you know Carolina flavor? That's it. It's Southern, but with a little oomph in it. Now you know. The Carolina legend is here. If you know, you Bo.
A touchdown to Connor Supakase, and Trammell, you broke that touchdown down. We may have to see another replay of that one in a moment because you were breaking that one down at a really high level before the play, and just the coverages and Bodie Weaver recognizing it, going to Supakase, tried him on the free play, or what we thought was one, went right back to him on a similar set toward the pylon, and he makes the grab, and Connor Supakase, Landon Dressel, Lucas Sunwall,
Trevi Prysha,
Samir Johnson, perhaps.
Oh man, I can't wait to get him back.
Don't know when he's coming back, but believe that he is going to. Perhaps over the next few weeks, we'll see. And he was the leading receiver for Colleyville 1 year ago. So plenty of weapons, but credit to Bodie Weaver for spreading that wealth and doing it well, as this is the best return of the night for the Bulldogs across the 40, and certainly their best field position. Forward progress stopped at the 44. And so the Bulldogs, after their first touchdown drive of the night, they will have their best field position of the night. Trying to build off that touchdown drive. It was a 44-yard touchdown to LeBron Bowdy. Broke a tackle and drove up. It was a 75-yard TD drive for Everman last time they touched the ball. Colleyville, they only needed 4 plays to go 65 yards on that touchdown drive, and finished off by that Connor Supakase touchdown we just saw.
And it started with Bodie Weaver's legs. Those 2 big runs that he had on that possession. He's just so magical. He's so good.
Early in the fourth quarter, Princeton Roberts, a 3-step drop back, pressure comes, and Roberts just going backwards, being chased down by Will Kennedy. Roberts eventually tackled from behind by the defensive end, Will Kennedy. He had to work for that sack, but eventually gets credited for it.
He did. On that play, Roberts showed his athleticism. He's really fast. He can really escape the pressure. But one thing about his game is he can't really throw that ball on the run. He struggles to throw on the run, and he doesn't want to throw on the run. He really wants to get his feet set. And that is why he's been sacked so many times today. His inability to throw the ball on the run. He's got to get his feet set, and you really don't have enough time to do that. And that's why he's getting pressured and he's getting taken down to the ground as many times as he has tonight.
Ethan Jackson, number 6, in for Colleyville at defensive end, giving Demarius Logan some rest. There's a rush up the gut there by Maurice Donald. Pushing after the play.
I'm surprised the flag wasn't thrown on that play. Some extracurricular. Okay, I think we do have a flag.
Well, the officials come together. getting a little chippy.
Yeah, it is. It is. A lot of frustration from the Bulldogs, but it's understandable when you're down 33 points. It is understandable, but like I mentioned earlier, sportsmanship on both sides, whether you're winning or losing. You got to show it.
On your home turf, too.
Yeah.
Being down like this, but especially, too, I mean, Colleyville didn't help the cause with a taunting after their last touchdown.
Yeah.
And now they wave a flag off, so no flag on the play.
Wow.
Wonder what this decision was there, Tremel.
Third down and 18 for the Bulldogs.
But a 3rd and 18. A long way to go for the Bulldogs offense. Roberts going back to pass. Will Kennedy pressures again. And it's incomplete. Braden Edwards in the coverage, looking for Barrington Strickland.
Yeah, in Colleyville, they just continue to send the dogs in pressure. I mean, they're not able to get the ball out quickly and get anything going. As soon as that pressure gets there, he scrambles out of that pocket every single time. And it results in a throwaway or some type of incomplete pass or a sack. Those are the only 3 outcomes when he gets flustered out of that pocket. He really hasn't had success today.
Will Hummer, he bobbled it for a moment, but able to hang on to the punt return. Not much of a return for Colleyville, but with 4th and long, despite being down 40-7, the Bulldogs had to kick it away, and now a Bulldog down right where the punt was. After Hummer nearly lost control over the return, he was able to gather it.
Yeah.
And that's Michael Victoria making his way to the sideline. The punter a little shaken up after booting that one away. And so Colleyville up 40-7. Now we'll go to the ground. That's Gabe Bess. Gets it for a solid gain on the play.
Handoff to Gabriel Bess. Brought down by LeBron Bowdy.
New quarterback into the game.
Second down 6 for the Panthers.
Just a freshman. He was called up this week. Lane Vargas. So his first varsity snaps, his first varsity throw, and it is complete. A flag there on the play. That is hauled in by Keegan Ludsey, the sophomore. So the backup's in the game for Colleyville. One thing to see is ineligible man downfield penalty against Colleyville, but Cody Weaver's night done. He's done enough. 3 in the.
Do you know Carolina flavor?
But number 19, Lane Vargas, into the ballgame. Not on the roster that we received at the beginning of the year, but obviously throughout the year you can make changes. Last year they called up Isaiah Omar, a freshman, in the middle of the year. Look at him now, very promising guy that Colleyville has certainly missed the last couple of weeks. Hope to get him back soon. Now you see Lane Vargas, a freshman quarterback that is now out there and getting an opportunity to run this offense with the game out of hand, and probably a lot of handoffs for him, but a chance for him to quarterback this team. And for Colleyville, understanding the game is in control, a chance for a freshman to get some reps, having confidence in a backup quarterback. Obviously, he was playing really well on the lower levels for Coach Edwards to call him up and put him in this position. And Edwards, he mentioned to us he's a very talented freshman quarterback, really like him, so we're calling him up. Got to be number 19. Obviously, Bodie Weaver's our guy, but just want to see what he can do. And Vargas there coughs up the football, and it's picked up by Everman. So a turnover there for the freshman quarterback, his first dose of varsity football. But a turnover there for him.
Yeah, you see here on this play, the pressure gets back there. There's number 54. He gets there. He tries to split it, and number 22 for the Bulldogs, Adrian Villanueva, he's going to get his hand in there, and he's going to punch that ball out. Good punch out, because if he doesn't get a hand on that ball, Vargas is going to have some green to run, and we would see what his athleticism is looking like. I hate that it got punched out there. I was trying to see how many yards was he going to pick up there, but nice play by Villanueva.
1st and 10, Everman takes over at the 34-yard line. And a run up the middle there by Kenyon Childress. Will Kennedy in on the stop.
And 6 for the Bulldogs.
Handoff, Roberts giving it again to Childress, and Childress has space, breaking a few tackles down to the 10-yard line. Perhaps too little too late for Everman, but they're showing some better offensive movement here in the second half.
They are, but some of it also has to do with the point in the game. Not all the starters for the Panthers are in on the defensive side. So new looks for both teams.
Under center now is Roberts. And a handoff to the fullback, stopped up. There is this one starter in, a few of them. That's Nehemiah Ole-Iwola on the tackle, but some different things going on for Colleyville defensively. Like you mentioned, Nehemiah Ole-Iwola and Dylan Hammond, the tackles. Demarius Logan, Will Kennedy on the edge. So a few starters in the defensive line, and Hammond getting some opportunity. We've seen DeMarshe Logan out there as well in his spot most of the night at defensive tackle. The linebacking core featuring Dax Hebeson, Joey Nisbet, and Camden Blackson. So the starters in the linebacking core, but a few new guys in the secondary as well. We'll get that in just a moment. As it's a carry, stopped up around the 10-yard line, nowhere to go. Forward progress, blowing that play up. In the secondary, Will Hummert there, but Ryan Lloyd getting some burn, number 33. Out there alongside Isaiah Haynes, number 20.
Okay.
So Haynes and Lloyd, a few new guys in the secondary. Hammond as well, like you mentioned. So Jerry Edwards deploying some backups offensively and defensively.
Yeah, let those young guys get some burn. Let those young guys get some experience under their belt, some playing time.
Roberts rolls, looks, end zone as a wide open man. It's a touchdown for Cavant Blair.
Yeah, it looks like some type of blown coverage. Not exactly sure what happened. Will Hummert is looking for a push-off. But let's see here, number 18, he's right here in the slot. He's just going to run a out route there, and he's wide open. Not exactly sure what happened on that back end, but somehow he found himself just wide open in the end zone. Will Hummer was signaling to the ref that there was a push-off, but it didn't even look like anyone was near him.
PAT is good.
Colleyville Heritage 40, Everman 14.
Everman able to put together a few touchdowns. We'll take a timeout.
Everman students, call your ride. Everman students, call your
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. Number 1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
.5:22 on the clock in the fourth quarter. 40-14 now the score. Everman scoring a 10-yard touchdown connection. Plenty of backups in the ball game on defense and offense for Colleyville. You saw Lane Vargas, the freshman quarterback, getting his first dose, being called up this week. Now Blake Wendler on the return. Up to nearly the 50 on the short kick. There goes the tight end.
Yep, that's been the story of the game for special teams. For the kick returning game for the Panthers. Every single kickoff return, every single punt return has been returned to about midfield. The Panthers' average starting drive is basically at the 50-yard line tonight.
They've had great field position during this game, up 40-14. They will try to dwindle this clock down and get ready for a game next week against Darlington Seguin. That's Gabe Bess on the carry. Overall tonight, though, what do you take away from this game, Trammell? Obviously, Colleyville going to come away with a victory in this one, but all in all, out of the bye week, what do you evaluate? How do you evaluate this Heritage just effort overall tonight?
Great effort. They got off to a great start on all three facets of the game. They got back down to the basics. Tackling was much better today, especially in that first half. They were able to run the ball. They got the running backs involved in the passing game. They took care of the football. They did a fantastic job tonight, and they get back in the win column.
There's Vargas. He shows his arm and finds Lucas Sunwall. Getting to work with some of the ones in the receiving core, and Vargas with a nice ball. There's the freshman.
Kind of a low snap here on that play. Vargas, he's going to take a hit, but he's going to connect with Lucas Sunwall on that right side, and those two show you what the future could look like next year and the year after.
That's freshman to sophomore on the connection. Lucas Sunwall. Oh, man, you get excited about the future, but the future feels like it's now for a man who's got 6 touchdowns and has scored in 5 consecutive weeks. That's what Lucas Sunwall's done. Now Vargas, another pretty ball, but a little too out of the reach of Landon Dressel. But Vargas throwing a nice tight spiral. He can move a little bit in the pocket. This freshman quarterback, you can see why this Heritage staff is impressed with him.
Yeah, I saw it on that play there. It did sell a little bit, but man, he's showing you that arm talent, showing you he's athletic. He can throw on the run. I like what I'm seeing from this freshman quarterback. I might have to go to that JV game next week. I'm going to have to clear my schedule up. I'm a busy man, but I think I might have to make some room.
Well, I know typically as there is a handoff for Gabe Bess. They typically have that game the night before, so you definitely could clear the decks on a Thursday evening and get an opportunity to see Vargas. And, of course, Coach Edwards has a couple of sons at Colleyville Heritage, and you'd expect over the next couple of years to see them play under his direction. Braden, of course, tonight. and another one as well, but a few getting ready to come through this Colleyville Heritage football program. So, but yeah, Vargas, he's making some moves and showing what this future could look like, and now he runs it himself. There's Vargas up the field, and he goes down, trying to hold on to the rock, fumbled it on his first drive. Quarterback in this offense here in the fourth quarter as Bodie Weaver's been pulled with Colleyville's lead swelling so big. Up 47, then they pull Bodie Weaver, now 40-14 after Everman. But how about the run here by the freshman?
Yeah, I don't think that was Vargas on that play. I think Bodie Weaver switched jerseys and put on number 19 because that looked exactly like Bodie Weaver. He's showing you, man, that we are in good hands for the future. Those big runs and those nice athletic runs that we've seen, those highlight runs, they're going to continue next year and the year after and the year after. Those type of runs are not going anywhere. I like what I'm seeing so far from this young freshman.
Yeah, Lane Vargas showing some good things, looking like he could be the future quarterback for this squad, being called up as a freshman to the varsity squad and being inserted into the ballgame as a backup quarterback. Shows that he's definitely shown a lot, probably a lot of this, and shaking some tackles. And it always feels dangerous when you can have a young quarterback in a system being ready to take the reins, because what Bodie Weaver's done these last couple of years certainly has been very, very good, and you always wonder who's going to step in next, and maybe Colleyville fans getting a glimpse of this on what could be the final drive of the ball game here tonight at Everman with a healthy lead at 40-14.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from him. He can run a lot, but I want to see a little bit more with his arm. I want to see him break down some coverages and hit a nice pass.
He rolls out here, looks end zone, almost had that nice pass you were alluding to Connor Supacasey, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I like what I'm seeing. Didn't complete it there, but he sees it. He scrambles to the right. It's a rollout. He's got a man right there. Oh, he just throws it a little behind him. Supacasey still could have hauled it in, but nice play. We just got to execute next time.
3rd and 2 from the 11. This will take us down to the 2-minute timeout. Vargas just looking for some room to go forward. He doesn't get much, so 4th down, 2-minute timeout. We'll come back in the game with a 40-14 lead for Colleyville. They'll add on to the win column, but the final 2 minutes on the other side.
2-minute timeout. This is just another reminder, Everman students, call your...
Do you have a dream of having a pool and a backyard oasis? Well, it's time to talk to the professionals at J. Caldwell Custom Pools. From new construction to remodeling to service and maintenance, J. Caldwell Custom Pools is your custom pool builder and outdoor living design expert, serving you with 2 locations, Hudson Oaks and Fort Worth, because life is too short for ordinary backyards. Dive in and find out more at jcaldwellcustompools.com.
Back with you on Panther Friday night on Tradio. 40-14 the score. Colleyville going to try a field goal on a 4th and 2. On the other side of the 2-minute timeout. 28-yard try here from Andrew Roy. And his kick is no good.
Field goal attempt is
putting in some of the backups even at kicker, and Roy getting an opportunity. We typically see Landon Dressel doing the duties there. No good for him. And it's a 40-14 score still with 1:55 left in the 4th quarter. As we look ahead for the Colleyville Heritage Panthers, we'll have another Panther Friday night for you next week as Colleyville returns home to take on Arlington Seguin.
big matchup coming up. Big matchup that has a lot to do with playoff seeding. Right now, you are behind them. You're on the outside looking in, like we mentioned earlier before the game started. That's a big game there.
It is, and they've lost back-to-back district games as well. They've lost to the two teams you've lost to.
Yeah.
They lost to Mansfield Timberview 30-23, a close game. It's a quick hit to the outside, and that is another screen to Gavant Blair. Flag comes at the end of the play, but look at this for Arlington Seguin. So they win their first 3 district games. They start 3-0. We think, man, this Seguin team is impressive. They beat the Colony by scoring 68. They beat Grapevine in overtime. They shut out Burleson. So they get 3 wins, but then they lose to Mansfield Timberview 30-23. Close game to a team that's really good. Pushed Argyle and Colleyville. They beat Colleyville by a point. And then they lose Argyle last night 41-24. So able to hang with them, but Argyle comfortably wins that game. But it is a massive matchup because Colleyville going to come into that district battle with a 2-2 record within district play, and then you have Seguin at 3-2, so you could improve to 3-2 and drop them to 3-3, and then have that tiebreaker over them for the remainder, because their 2 losses are to the 2 teams you lost to, and then you'd have that head-to-head. So it is a big matchup with Arlington Seguin, another team battling for a playoff spot. They're able to get one of those coveted 4 playoff spots within the district a year ago. So that is a massive game. And then the game following that as well against Summit, a team who's yet to lose. We haven't seen an update yet on the score between Mansfield Summit and Mansfield Timberview, but that obviously is going to be a massive matchup as well for Colleyville the week after that. Second and 20, under a minute to go in this ball game. A reverse on the carry to Donald. And he eventually gets tackled. 30 seconds left.
Number 11, Maurice Donald, on the run, enough for an Everman Bulldog first
And
down.
I do have an update. Late in the 4th quarter, Mansfield Summit 39, Mansfield Timberview 22.
Wow.
Big win for Summit.
Is that over?
It's late in the 4th quarter.
Late 4th?
Late in the 4th.
Wow, so Summit doing some impressive things.
Timeout.
That's a rivalry game as well.
First timeout of the half.
So 1 second left and a timeout was called
4 seconds on the play.
here in a 40-14 ball game. So we'll have one more play before this one is wrapped up, but Trammell, good pull on finding an update on that ball game, because when we looked at the district, we were really interested to see what Summit could do, because obviously being undefeated, they're a team that has an opportunity. And so they can move to 4-0.
Yeah.
If they hold on. So then you'd have Argyle at 4-0, Summit at 4-0, and then you'd have a bunch of 2-loss teams.
Right.
You'd have a 3-2 Seguin team, a 3-2 Timberview team, a 2-2 Colleyville team. So that would really make things interesting.
It makes things very interesting. I'm excited to see Summit and Argyle now. I mean, we really didn't mention Summit that much. We mentioned them in the mix for maybe 3rd or 4th in the district. We never talked about them possibly being a first-place team in this district. We didn't at all. And that's what it's looking like it's going to come down to. Argyle versus Mansfield Summit. I'm not sure exactly when they play.
Next week.
They play next week. Oh, there you go. That's the game right there for first place, possibly.
Definitely is, at least for the time being. So next week, that's a big one. It's a big one for Colleyville as well. They host Arlington Seguin next week, but they dominate in this one. A 40-14 final for Colleyville. They get the victory. Bodie Weaver, he got pulled late in this ball game, but not before he threw for 3, passed for 3 touchdowns, ran for another. And Colleyville, a victory on the road out of the bye week. A pretty clean ball game, all in all for them. And they do a good job.
Yeah, the great job by the Colleyville Heritage Panthers tonight. They hit on every single key of the game tonight. Way to come back off of 2 straight losses, come out strong after your bye week, and get back on a winning schedule. They have a big matchup next week against Mansfield Summit, so they got to get right back into the film room, right back on that practice field, and get ready to prepare.
Thank you so much for watching tonight. For Tim Polster, our great technical director, our entire Tradio crew. He is Tremel Jeffers. I'm Will Connerly. We say so long tonight from Everman. Colleyville wins it 40-14.